gonna start recording. Okay. Hey. My nerves just tripled in size. Okay. That is not good music for this. Holy shit, dude. We're just gonna. Oh my god, people stop texting me. I'm already overstimulated. You guys. Chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I want this one.
I swear to God, I will shit myself if some weirdo comes and talks to me.
Can you imagine you're just sitting there playing D&D and some man walks up, "Excuse me, ma'am. I just gotta say, you're the finest thing I've seen all day." Okay.
And y'all will be here to witness it.
I'll just start barking.
I got a rusty ass box cutter. I'll just give him tetanus.
You just look at him too hard. Okay.
Henry, is that you?
It is! He's here. Okay, are we ready?
Henry, God, I wish we had a meow for Alfie.
I know.
There's so much.
Alright, we
Debbie,
ready?
I felt inspired by the vibes of your lighting situation, and I've now turned on a lamp and lit a like apple cinnamon scented candle.
Oh hell yeah. This is what my room looks like now, by the way. It is dark.
The vibes. Wait, I want to get vibes.
Okay. Everyone get vibe lights.
There it is. You can't even see me now. There's a lamp back there. The candle's off to the side where you can't see it. There's my vibe.
That doggy.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, we're just gonna keep hearing Jess go, "Oh, a doggy." It's like, Nyla, what are you doing? We're all dead on the ground. She's just like, "Can I go pet your dog?"
Can I go pet your doggy?
Nyla, we're dead. Help us. A doggy.
A doggy.
Yep.
Okay.
That is accurate.
Okay. I think audio, everything's good. OBS, are you good? OBS is good. Do I have all my shit pulled up? I do. Okay. Welcome, guys, to session 2. Woo! Yay!
I've been welcomed.
Welcome. So, thanks, that's what I was waiting for. To give a very brief recap of what happened last session, we met our wandering travelers in the heart of Irigan, the capital city of Kila. We first met Elzaniah, which is played by Alyssa, first with her beloved companion Henry, the goose that went headfirst into a trash can, nearly bit a small child, and then effectively ran away by the end of the first session. So you don't know where he is right now.
I'm sure he's being a good boy and behaving himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's doing exactly what you told him to do. He's on his best behavior. You were just exploring you were exploring by a town hall after collecting a coin from someone, and that's where you ran into the very colorful and socially awkward Nova, who is companioned by Alfie, the orange cat with white socks. His paws are white, so it looks like socks. Who is a champion of assholes. It is so incredibly rude to everyone and does not like anyone except for Nova. You two got to talking and eventually stumbled into the tavern, which Nova had just left, where you met Eliza, who is the barkeep, an elven older woman with crow's feet, who has been dealing with drunken, disorderly patrons all day long because of the growing crowds from the festival, which you all learned is the celebration of the Blue Moon. You're not exactly sure what it is. For all the people who aren't from Irigan, you aren't exactly sure what it is and what it's celebrating, but you did learn very quickly from other people that you met throughout the day. And inside the tavern is where you met Nyla, along with her bubbly companion, Mr. Sparkles, the possum with a with a uncanny ability to find his way into any pot that was stored in the back of the kitchen and ended up being charged. I didn't tell you about this last time. Nyla, you were charged 2 gold pieces for that. So wherever you're keeping track of your currency, just mark off 2 pieces of gold specifically, because Eliza did sadly have to charge you for all the soup that was ruined because Mr. Sparkles kept getting into it. And very valid. As you all were sitting around inside the tavern, it was starting to get quiet because everyone was going outside, and that's where you meet 2 new people, Dorian and his companion, Cornelia. Dorian is a tall 9-foot tiefling with rich purple skin, and Cornelia is a human, or at least you believe she is, who is about half his size. She goes up to his chest and nothing more. You all got to talking, and that's where Cornelia tells you that she is effectively cursed by a goddess who she has who she has in her head, speaking to her at all times. And you learned something about the Great Calamity, which you all happen to know about, some of you more so than others, but she is explaining explaining to you all how basically not everything is as it seems. History may have lied to you all, and something strange is going on inside of the continent of Earth. Later, after explaining all of this to you, Nova ended up getting sick and needed to go outside to clear her head for a little bit, and that's where you all wandered around and started dancing, and that's where you met the also very colorful and lively Sandcast, who you all fell absolutely in love with. Sandcast is a black and white tufted tabaxi. Oh my god, if my papers could stop flying around. Who invited you all to dance with her. She danced with each one of you all, specifically Elzanaya, who she started confessing a lot of information to, and she seemed very excited to give it to you at all. No matter what it is that she was talking about, she was very excited to say it, even when it came to explaining the Harpers, who you know better than most, Elzanaya, who are effective protectors of the city, and who, in her terms, are there to kill them if they ended up being traitors to the Empire, or at least to Irigan. And then you all stumbled inside the tailor, where you found 2 Harpers who were sitting and talking to you all about basically their position in Irigan and some of the festival, and specifically you were asking questions, I believe it was Elzanaya, you were asking questions about the government of Irigan and how the council works. And that is the Spark Notes version of what happened last time. So where we meet off is within the tavern, not the tavern, within the tailor shop again. Everyone is inside. Dorian is off on one of the walls looking at all the trinkets. He's just sitting there kind of, the wall itself of the tailor shop has all of the finer clothes that really aren't for sale but merely for show, of like beautiful ball gowns that were made by the tailor. It's also a jeweler shop, so there's a jeweler who works with him as well, so it's all of the brooches that were made for specific clothing. There are sequins that are sewn into some of the pieces, very elegant gemstones and jewels, and he's sort of running his fingers around all of them. Cornelia standing off to the side beside Nova, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Alfie is still inside of your bag, Nova. Henry, again, is outside with the rest of the party that's going on in the town hall, or outside of the town hall, and Mr. Sparkles is right by your side, Nyla. And currently you all are speaking to the, let me see, I believe it was the human Harper who came down to talk to you and was better equipped to answer some of your questions about the... Actually, it was an elven woman with a pan flute. I had to make a note of that. Who was specifically answering your questions about the capital city, Irigan. And we're gonna start... Do we want to start with the same rotation that we did last time, or do we want to do new things?
No.
Did you say new, Emma? I couldn't really hear you, cut out.
I said I don't know.
Oh. We'll just start at the top of the order, which is from last time, and we're going to start with Elzanaya, because you were talking with the Harper. We're just going to cut right back into the scene.
out of character for a second. I may need minor spark notes from you, Lore Master, later about the things that Alright, I forgot her name. What's her name told me outside when we were dancing, because I remember her telling me about the Harpers, and I may need that later just to remember for my notes, because I didn't take note of all the conversation beyond just, oh, those are the Harpers.
Oh, you're fine. I can explain that real quick. Basically, what Sandcast told you is that this is a celebration of the Blue Moon Festival. She told you specifically about the Harpers, of how they were created after the king had been killed, which was during the Civil War, which happened a few decades prior. Some of the only people that are alive from that event are the council members themselves and some of the older people of Aragon. She was specifically telling you how the Harpers' role played in there, where Harpers were the people who were the band of bards who worked in the castle at the time, and so they would communicate to the warriors, the council warriors, which is the council that you all know today. They would communicate messages to them of specific routes that were going. Like if, for example, a knight was going on a specific route, they would let everyone know by playing specific songs. The Harpers were also instrumental in getting people inside of the castle to overthrow it and effectively kill the king. And so the Harpers have become this sort of mantelpiece for Aragon of being people that will defend people first. So they're known for, if anyone is starving, you can go to the Harpers and have a meal. If someone, ruins your clothes and you're about to go on a date, they're the ones that you can go to immediately and get something quickly to change into without having to worry about paying a cent. They are basically the Robin Hoods of this place, and they don't ask for a penny in return. They kind of just coexist peacefully with everyone. So there's not really like a police force here. It's mainly like the Harpers are there to execute justice, as well as the council warriors.
Okay.
That's also what the Harper was explaining to you as well.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and she mentioned like strange weather possibly last time. Somebody asked about strange weather.
Yes, Cornelia did ask about strange incidents that were going on inside of Aragon. And specifically, what the Harper said is that there hasn't really been anything strange going on, mostly that there was different weather that was going on. So, for example, there was a really bad, I believe there was a really bad drought, which was strange because Aragon is known for getting all of the rain, and it's more common to flood than it is to not. So it was really strange that there was a drought, which killed basically a lot of the crops. And then there was a terrible winter that ended up freezing everything over, which was also very strange. But the thing that she said was common to happen is that there were rumblings going on because the Aragon itself is built near a cliff. So it's very common for the waves to shift the earth. So that was normal, but everything else was sort of strange.
Okay. I have no memory of exactly what I was asking the Harper about last time, but yeah, I'm gonna say Elzaniah asks our Harper friend what the general spirit of the town is like these days. Is there any tension amongst the council or the nobility and the people, or is everything peaceful? I noticed that the festival outside seems quite lively and everyone seems very friendly, but I'd wondered at different moments during the day if there might be some tension that needs to be resolved. Is there anything that you can tell us about that?
I'm trying to remember the voice that I gave her.
I don't remember either. I was so like, you
can
get whatever voice you want.
Yeah. Well, essentially, I have noticed that some things have been a little fishy with... Not to get too into it, because this is sort of private affairs, but there have been a lot of bickerings going on between folks nowadays, where, most people wouldn't necessarily question the price of something. Now all of a sudden everyone wants to haggle and bargain and stuff like that. So a lot of people have been kind of irritated about that sort of stuff. I know that there have been some local spats between blokes just, getting into it at all the pubs and whatnot. Between the council, honestly, I couldn't really say. I will say, though, that Katara, she has been quite different, but she always was a strange one, that lady. After the Civil War, well, no, you wouldn't know. After the Civil War, she kind of just shut down, really. It's kind of hard to really talk to her nowadays, but we've noticed her walking around a lot more these days, which is kind of strange, but we figure that she's just starting to become herself. I wasn't there personally whenever the Civil War happened, but essentially she was quite outgoing, but we've all just kind of gathered that Sandcast is rubbing off on her, which tends to happen the longer you stay around her.
And who is that?
Cathara is one of the eldest council members. She's one of the warriors who helped kill the king.
And you say that she seems to be a little more reserved these days.
Yeah, well, after the whole incident, she's sort of just full covered her face, full covered everything. Honestly, it's kind of hard just to see any bit of skin. She always wears these massive hats. And you recall dancing, Elzaniah, whenever you were dancing in the square with Sandcast, you did look up the stairs and see someone who was veiled. I won't go too into it, but you do remember seeing someone who had a large brim hat, and she had a veil coming down from it that completely covered her head to toe. And she was sort of standing in the very back of the group away from everyone. So she was still inside the building, but you could still see her, as well as everyone else a part of the council.
Okay.
Alright, so, after the Civil War, no one really knows why, but she just started covering up everything, and no one really thought to ask her. It's just one of those things that, it's almost like a don't ask, don't tell sort of thing, where, you just don't feel like it's important enough to go and ask someone about that sort of thing. You figure that if she trusts you enough, then she'll go and tell you, which conveniently hasn't happened for any of us any of these days, but we do have some of the older Harpers upstairs, and they may know something better. But that's really all that I really know about her. I haven't had a full conversation with her aside from explaining the weather that's happened, or she was quite curious about the port and how it had been doing, but we haven't really gotten too many ships in these days.
I see. Well, I hope that if she has lost some of her spirits, I hope perhaps she regains them soon. Thank you for the information. And I kind of look at my companions and nudge or ask them if they have any other questions that they'd like to know, or if they'd like to speak to somebody else amongst the Harpers for more information.
Does anyone around here know anything about weird coins?
Alfie gets visibly agitated that you keep asking about that, and he just digs himself deeper in the bag, and he's fully not paying attention, and you do hear Dorian start laughing in the background, and Cornelia walks away from you, and she sort of nudges him with her elbow. Coins? Not really. I do know that some of the capitals, they have different sorts of coins. We do have some collectors that come in with the odder wares and stuff like that, but I don't really know about odd coins. Could you describe the one that you're looking for? Maybe I could scour out for it. I am one of the rangers that goes around, so I might be able to help keep an eye out for it if you'd like.
Well, it's silver, It's small. It
Mhm.
has a bunch of almost like blood splotched gems circling it, with a man's face in the middle.
You see her eyes start to narrow. Give me a perception check.
Okay. My.
You got this.
It is a 12. Perhaps wait, plus 2, 12, 13, 14. It's a 14.
Uh, you see that she looks up as if she's thinking, and you notice something in her eyes that say she doesn't know exactly what you're talking about, but she does have some idea of it, and she does not seem pleased that you're looking for that coin. She doesn't outwardly get agitated, but she does start to tense up a little bit at your mentioning of it. Um, and as soon as she realizes that you all are paying that you're specifically paying a little too close attention, she, rights herself and shakes her head and she goes, "No, I haven't really heard of anything like that, sorry. But I will keep an eye out for it." And she takes out a piece of paper from her back pocket and she grabs a quill from over at the desk and writes down your description.
Well, thanks anyway.
Sorry I couldn't have been of more help. I'm just not really well versed in the sounds kind of magical, and to be quite frank, I'm not really well versed in that, mainly just, bard stuff and in hunting, that's mainly my expertise. But I will ask around for you, and if I hear anything, what inn are you staying at, and I can get that information to you.
Nova looks around, panicked at her companions. Good question.
Are we staying at the tavern?
You all haven't put down money, so you haven't decided. You see Dorian steps up and he's like, they're in between places at the moment, so they don't really know. They don't really have a place that they're staying. And
We've just arrived in town.
The Harper looks over at you, Elzaniah, and she nods her head and she goes, "All right. Well, whenever you figure out a place, just let me know. And if you ever need housing, board, or anything like that, just you know where to find us." And before really this can go further, you hear footsteps upstairs, and you hear someone kind of stepping very heavy, and they walk from the very back. So technically the front of the store, they walk from the very front of the store all the way to the back where you all are, and they march down the stairs. And you hear someone walking down the stairs, and you see a very tall Airgenazi woman with tan skin. Let me see. With tan skin and sharper ears, almost like an elf. She's not pure Airgenazi. And Elzaniah, you recognize her as one of the Harpers that you have befriended.
Yay!
Grab her. You recognize our dear friend Flutter. You know her from all the times that you've been in Irrigan and specifically helped Harpers. She was one of the commanders that went to you specifically after someone had been injured going out hunting, and so she needed a cleric to heal them. Flutter is, as I said before, an Airgenazi. Her father is an Airgenazi, which you know, Elzaniah, no one else does. You know that her father is an Airgenazi, and her mother is a wood elf, which is why her skin is a more darker shade than most typical Airgenazis are, but that's also why her hair is very fluffed, sort of wild and untamed in that beautiful shade of blue. And to honor her mother's side of the family, she has two long, almost going down to her knees, white, pitch or stark white braids that at the very end are clipped off with little ringlets of gold. She has a scar across her nose, and she also has some facial piercings. And so she walks down the stairs, and she looks over at you, and she goes, "Well, by my braids, I thought I heard that voice. It's so good to see you again, my darling."
Dear friend, it's so good to see you. May the goddess bless you this day. She has certainly blessed me to bring you such to me.
Flutter immediately pushes past the other the other Harper who's still there, and she wraps her arms around you. She does stand taller than you, but she is very lithe in nature. Her physique is more, for lack of a better term, air-like, where it gives her more mobility. For all my friends who have seen Legend of Korra or Avatar: The Last Airbender, typically looks like what you would imagine an airbender to look like, so very lithe, smaller proportions, still very tall and agile and all that good stuff. And her ears do stick out quite far. And she does have the tattoo that stems from the bottom of her lip and goes all the way down her front. You haven't seen it personally, but you do know from seeing little peeks beneath her clothes whenever she dips down to move, or whenever you had seen her fighting once, you do know that the tattoo goes all the way down her front. So she embraces you quite tightly in a very friendly hug, and the other Harper sort of, rights herself because she was ran into by Flutter, and she clears her throat. She goes, "Well, I didn't know that you knew our guest." And Flutter goes, "Well, absolutely I know her. She's one of the people who was helping us quite a long time ago. I haven't seen you in ages, though. It's so good to see you. Are you back for the celebration?"
Stepped in for a moment to get some information about the city. I've just arrived not too long ago after my other travels around the continent.
Well, that is wonderful, and I'm so glad to see that you've made friends finally. You were quite a loner back then whenever I last saw you. So who are these two? Or, four, actually.
Well, this here is Nova. We met outside and actually shared a meal together not too long ago.
No, he's just like staring up at the tall woman.
You see Flutter. Flutter is shorter than Dorian, so she's at about 8 feet, so he's still taller than her, but she too is having trouble of standing up at full height in some places, so she has to kind of duck her head a little bit. But she does walk over to you and immediately grabs your hand and holds it with both of hers, and her skin is again very soft, and she is what's the word I'm looking for? She is almost concerningly cold, but you know that given her, you just know that she is part Argonazi, but just by the way that her hair specifically looks, you can tell because you have traveled around a lot, so you can pick up these features of people, so you know that at least some part of her is Argonazi, so you know that they are typically much colder than other people that you would have held hands with. She leans down. She goes, "It is so wonderful to meet you. Nova, was it? I'm Flutter."
Your hands are really soft.
Dorian just shakes his head in the background. She goes, "Thank you. I try to moisturize every day, honestly." And she doesn't immediately let go of your hands, but she does, whenever she lets go of them, her fingers trace yours, and she looks over at you, Nyla.
Why me?
Because you're I don't know, you're right next to Nova. Oh, you were saying that as character. My bad.
Yeah.
Just so deadpan. I had no idea. I was about to
That's
get attitude.
not okay.
I was about to get attitude. Just why the fuck are you asking me? Flutter doesn't look taken aback at all compared to me, the DM, and she just puts her hands behind her back because she can tell that you don't want to shake your hands, and she just goes, "Well, it's so wonderful to meet you. Any friend of Els and I is a friend of mine. I can tell you're not really the social type, but that's all right. We have room for everyone aboard the Harpers, or at least nearby. I did hear you playing outside. You play quite beautifully, by the way."
I suppose I thank you.
I suppose I
She just
accept
kind
that.
of looks around.
Flutter then looks over at Cornelia, who is sort of awkwardly stood between the group. So, like, where Dorian is not at all paying attention to you guys. She's like stood between, not really sure if she should move forward, if she should just stay by her companion. And she grabs the ends of her dress and she does a very not professional, but a very practiced curtsy, very elegant in nature, as if she's done it many times before. And she goes, "My name is Cornelia. It's very, very wonderful to meet you." And Flutter looks over at her and she mirrors the same image by grabbing the ends of her coat. She's wearing a long, a buttoned up red, it's like an officer's coat. So it goes all the way down and it opens up in the front where it shows off her white pants that she's wearing. And so she grabs the ends of it and she does the same curtsy. She goes, "It is so good to meet you as well. My name is Flutter, and you are?" She goes, "My name is Cornelia, and this is my..." And she gestures quite, like, her hand is all the way up. "And this is my friend Dorian. He's not the best at social situations, but we are working on it." And Dorian doesn't even turn around. He just kind of waves his hand because he's far more invested in the trinkets that are on the wall. He's now like, his arms are behind his back, so he's like holding his lower back and he's bent almost all the way forward to look down at these display cases where all the elegant brooches are. And Flutter then turns back to you, Elzaniah, and she goes, "Well, you know, more of our friends are upstairs if you'd like to join us. We're kind of just drinking, having a few snacks before, you know, the actual feast starts later tonight. Unless, of course, you have something else that you're preoccupied with."
Well, if my companions wouldn't complain, I would love to join you in your revels. What do you think? And I turn to the others.
I gotta find out what moisturizer she uses.
If I must.
Hands are so soft.
So warm.
Is that all you care
So
about?
cold.
Touching butter.
She can absolutely hear you, by the way. She just keeps smiling, and she's like looking between all of you guys, and Cornelia finally steps back over, but she goes right to your side, Elzaniah, because you, again, make her the most comfortable out of anyone here.
Excellent. I'm gonna gently take her arm and turn back to my friend Flutter and say, "I think we're decided. We greatly appreciate your hospitality, my old friend."
But of course, and we have a lot of ale upstairs if any of you take to the drink. We have far too much, honestly. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with it. And the other Harper sort of gives her a look, and Flutter immediately waves her off. And she takes you all upstairs, where you are in the attic portion of the tailor shop. And up there, it is very open space. So where the store below had a counter for all the wares. It had a lot of displays. It had some racks that were holding all the clothes and everything like that. And it even had a little workshop in the back where the sorry, give me a second. Where it had, fuck me. Oh, shit. I need this one. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. I'm so professional, you guys.
Yippee!
Yippee! There we go. Okay. So where all that stuff is, like a little workshop that's down on the first floor, where you know that the tailor would work on all of the pieces that are brought in specifically to do alterations, or for the jeweler to make new brooches and new jewels, or to sharpen all the jewels and to cut them and make them look a lot nicer for some of the pieces that she was planning on creating. Upstairs is completely open, so the whole space is available for you all. And there are chairs set up. You see a long, a burgundy carpet which spans from the where the stairs start all the way towards the back door, or the front door, I should say, where the balcony is. And you see tons of Harpers are up there. You see some that are basically all of them are of a different race. You see one Kenku, which, for people who don't know, is a tall bird type. They're specifically, typically they look like crows, so you do see a lot of them have the heads of crows. Other ones have heads of different sorts of birds. One of them even looks like an owl. One of them looks like an owl, and so she has a very sharp beak, and her coloring is similar to the like a barn owl essentially. So her face itself is white, but around it, where her hair would be, is long brown and tan. Um, she's standing beside the other Kenku, and you see that there are other races. One is a lizard folk, others are dragonborn, really any and all people, because Irrigan is a melting pot of cultures, so you see a lot of different races are here. There's no really one set race, so there are a lot of different people that are within the building. You see in one of the corners there is a large, pitch black dire wolf with red eyes, which is sort of scanning the area. At its feet is a large bone, which you know would have come from specifically like a steak or something. Elzenai, you know that the dire wolves are treated very, very well, and it is quite common for them to be seen with the Harpers. You know that not all of them have dire wolves, but a lot of them, specifically the ones that multi-class as druids and as bards, are the ones that are able to really keep them and train them and allow them or allow them to be kept not as pets but as other guards for the Harpers that go out and investigate any crime scenes or that sort of take the perimeter of patrolling outside of Irrigan. And you don't know this one specifically, but it is quite old, and you know that it is Flutter's direwolf that is in the corner, as its head immediately sticks up whenever it sees that she's come back in, and she rushes over, pushing past everyone, does not care, rushes over and squats down in front of the direwolf, and she's got its head in her hand, and she's like, "Oh, what a good doggy! Did you eat all of it? Oh, this is wonderful! Do you remember our friend? Oh, you didn't meet her. This is our friend!" And she's talking very loudly. She like looks over and points over at you. She's like, "That's our friend. That's Elzenaya. You like her. You like all of these people." And the dire wolf looks over at you all and then slowly lowers its head. And you hear that the conversation has sort of quieted down. Outside is still very loud with people that are coming by. But for the most part, it's sort of quieted down in here. And you do recognize a lot of the people that are in the room, Elzenaya. You do remember their names. I'm not going to give you them, but you do know them.
Still.
Hey, can I break fourth wall for a second?
Hmm?
Can we take can we break fourth wall for a second? Can we take like a 15-minute break so I can walk home and get dinner?
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just as food driven as Nyla, okay?
As you should be.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm ecstatic that there's a puppy. I know that the dire wolves are much more serious than puppies, but I'm so excited there's a
There's
puppy.
a flipper.
There's a flipper!
There's a
Oh,
puppy! There's a doggy!
With a doggy. Yeah, I've been watching the John Wick movies with my parents the last couple of days. And I still have one to go. I think I've seen the first one, and well, have you seen the John Wick movies, or are you familiar with like what happens in the first movie?
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, I just haven't seen the latest one that's come out, but I've seen all of them. Except for the latest one.
Okay, yeah. I had not seen the third. I might have seen the second one at some point, but it was so long ago I no longer remembered it. I remembered the first one. Today I saw the third one for the first time, and so I've still got the fourth one to watch, which I have not seen. But anyway, Woofers!
Woofers! The second one is with, Santonio? Or something like that.
Yes.
Where he's the one who...
Yeah.
Yeah, where he blows up John Wick's house and kills his dog again.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, no, the dog was fine.
Oh, the dog was fine. Yeah. It's just in the first movie.
No. After the first movie, I think they were very careful about not doing that again.
Yeah.
So like,
but he did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He blew up his house. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for most of the second movie, the new dog was with the concierge at the Continental.
Oh yeah.
And they showed us those scenes so that we as the audience would know that the puppy was fine and he was safe and he'd be well taken care of.
Yeah, that's also where John Wick kills him on continental ground, and then the third movie picks up immediately with him being hunted by.
Yeah, he's excommunicado.
Yep.
My legs hurt so bad from sitting.
I feel that.
Oh. It's like a 2-minute walk, but it feels like it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just right around the block. I don't wanna. But I want food. I don't
love
even
how
know what food is.
I love how in the official art of the dire wolf, it has to be covered in blood.
Well,
I
of
know, I'm
course.
like, what did he just eat?
He fully killed someone.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Alfie.
like-
Alfie's gone.
He's going down.
This is what Alfie thinks he looks like as a cat.
Yes.
This is what Henry thinks he looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's Mr. Sparkles.
And then there's Mr.
He doesn't think.
He's just
He
so
does
happy
not
to be
think.
there.
He, like I explained to Sevi earlier, Nyla and Mr. Sparkles share like a quarter of one brain cell.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to see a surprise?
I want to say surprise.
Surprise?
I'm not done with it yet. But hold on. Two of them are done. I just have to finish the third one.
Dear they are.
Dear they are.
Wait. Hey.
Oh my god.
I'm
I'm so
nothing.
proud of my little man.
There they are.
Look at that distinguished gentleman.
The distinguished gentleman. Look at his little backpack.
Look at him. You forgot Mr. Sparkles also has a backpack.
I didn't forget. I just told you I'm not done, dipshit.
He looks like he's just defeated.
I can open this in browser. It'll be bigger. There it is. I can zoom in.
He looks like he's like bringing forth his inner rat.
He fully is. He's just laying there.
So Henry needs his knife. His shiny.
Yeah, I told you I'm not done yet.
Sorry. All I can think about is Gustarian.
I know, same.
For the video, this is what we're looking at.
So beautiful.
Is that your sandwich? Not anymore.
Not anymore. Hulk.
Gustarian.
Gustarian.
Excuse me. I was choking on Toji.
Choking on my dick.
Your dick, but
My dick is massive.
it's
Speaking of
not
our
so.
dicks, I'm gonna go take a potty break.
Have
Bye.
fun with your dick.
I have so much fun, thank you.
I'm almost home. I can smell the food. No,
I
I
went
can't.
to the fair yesterday, Jess.
You went to the fair. I want to go to the fair, but I'm a broke bitch.
I'll send you a picture of the animals I saw.
Jeez, did I just set off every fucking dog in the neighborhood?
Yeah. I saw the bunnies,
The bunnies.
the mumus, and the seal.
There's a fucking seal?
Yeah.
I want to go to the fair.
Oh my god.
Probably the seal.
No, I'm not looking at that.
Shake my head. The seal's beautiful. My boyfriend got a great picture of the seal.
This
I
is
was
what
too
I was
short.
looking at.
I was too short to see over the walls. Oh.
Someone on Twitter said he's got that shit on.
He's got that llama in him.
That's their pet llama.
To get a knock on yours. A hooded guest you'll greet in your salon. A silver tray he'll serve your carcass on. Uncork the Beaujolais, oh watch the scarlet spray. We'll guzzle and we'll gorge today. We're feasting on a lord today.
Someone on Twitter said, "Did anyone actually like Voltron?" Someone else said, "Unfortunately, it got me into yaoi." Someone else said, "That's like saying a stray hot dog on the street got you into food." It's so stupid.
I just pounded a whole box of Micronauts.
That's not what I thought you were about to say. You pounded.
Oh. What did you think I was gonna say? I pounded?
Something else. Starts with an M.
You.
Yeah. Excuse me. I gotta make the
The
noise every time.
mitochondria.
This is a powerhouse of a cell.
Powerhouse of the motherfucking.
I gotta go potty too. I'll be back.
Oh, have some potty time.
I'll think of you while I'm in there.
Oh, shit.
Hello, I have returned.
I have also returned.
Welcome back, peers.
His queens.
I hope you enjoyed your PS.
I did.
Very
It
good,
was
yes, thank
refreshing.
you.
How was it?
Refreshing.
I'm so fucking glad. Mm.
Did you all see Jess's message?
About what?
About food not being done yet.
Oh, how rude.
Skill issue.
See these other things. These two little off-brand cuties right now, and I don't understand how there are oranges so tiny. But they're so tiny.
A lot of the cuties that I've been getting, for some reason, have seeds in them, and it's been really throwing me off. I'm not expecting them to have
That's true. You were
seeds.
really sad about your seated boys.
Yeah, I forgot I was on phone with you guys. I was distraught that I kept biting into seeds. Let me get on TikTok and make you guys listen to my Reddit stories.
Middle-aged man has like this like secret man strength. Like, have you ever? Yeah.
Man, nothing will beat that one story of the lady who just kept getting pregnant. She just stayed pregnant that whole time.
She did.
I'm familiar with that one. I think my immune system may be going to shit because I'm craving oranges and orange juice like more and more the last couple of months.
It's a
Like
sign of
nonstop.
scurvy.
I know. That's probably it.
I know that I'm having a severe vitamin D deficiency because I just don't go outside anymore.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you not take in my dick every day?
Yeah. My doctor several months ago put me on 5,000 IU of vitamin D a day because I didn't I'm not even kidding. Like Aspen, I don't know if you remember this or if you're around
Oh
because this
yeah.
started when we were
Oh yeah.
living together. my thing where I'm just falling over and I just kind of collapse
Yeah.
and like stay there for hours. Yeah, that's why. She was like, try this, and if that doesn't fix it, talk to your psychiatrist, because it might be psychological. But the vitamins help. And she's like, okay, you just need to fucking go outside, please.
You need
And
to have lizard time.
have a life. I shit you not. Around the end of the time when I was at home for COVID, like one of the last few times I actually went to see my doctor before coming back to campus, they checked all my vitals and stuff, and I was still having like, you know, the like the long haul COVID symptoms and stuff. So that was still there. But otherwise, my vitals and everything were fine. She was like, technically, you're not sick anymore. Your brain has just convinced itself that you're dead, and you need to. She's like, you just need to like go back to being a college student and feeling alive. Please
Yeah.
like go. Please go have fun. Go get your hair done. Go out and live in the world, please, and be happy. That's what's wrong with you right now. I was like, okay.
Oh, I was really confused about what that tagline was. Interesting.
You have scurvy because I gobbled that thing up, and I'm about to gobble this second one down, and I might go back for more.
It's like the sign whenever you can't stop chewing ice that you have a what is it? The low iron in your blood.
Something.
You just can't stop eating oranges. You're so scared of getting scurvy.
My body is so scared of getting scurvy. It's like we're going abroad in a couple of weeks. We gotta stock up.
Yeah, you're
on
going
this
to
shit.
Europe.
I am. I'm going to London, and I learned today, because my dad and I have been going over like luggage things and stuff, because I need to get like a new suitcase. But he was looking at some of my flight information today, and I'd forgotten that we agreed to pay slightly extra on my plane ticket so that I would be in like the medium economy thing. Instead of just like straight up economy. So also so that I could check 2 bags instead of just 1, and I'm gonna be there for 3 weeks, so I kind of need the extra space. But apparently this section of the plane comes with a lot of perks, including I'm getting fed. Like I get a 3-course meal while I'm there. There's a complimentary bar. I get booze for free on this plane. I shit you not. And they give me like this little pack of stuff. You know, like you see in movies, the unrealistic, like you're traveling
oh my God,
and
you
it's
get
like
the
the fancy
pack of
British
stuff?
I have a pack of stuff. They're giving me like a toothbrush and toothpaste because it's like an 8 or 9 hour flight. Like a sleep mask and a head pillow and earplugs upon request, and there are these disposable noise canceling headphones that connect to like the little screen that they've got, and there are movies that I can watch, including like the Phineas and Ferb, like Candace, whatever that was movie. One of the Phineas and Ferb movies is on there, and like,
nice.
bro, this is gonna be nice.
This is so off topic, but I think my mic has been picking up me chowing down on these Cheetos. This
Oh,
whole
it
time.
has. We've heard.
I'm
We
so
heard you
sorry.
bacon out.
It's because the thing wasn't lighting up
You've
on
been
my
like-
end, so I'm like, oh, okay, they can't hear me. And then I go on OBS, and it's like every time I chew, it's just lighting up, and I'm like, oh no,
I'm talking
heard me.
I'm talking about my plane. Meanwhile, you're over there like crunch.
Yeah, no, I've just been like,
There it is.
I love it. Love the munch. What did
I
I
love the
say?
munch.
I
The
am
downside is you
grinding
still
my idle
hear
game
me.
now.
On the recording.
I love that for you.
We're grinding.
Steak.
Little things have so much juice in them.
That's so embarrassing. Have y'all heard me eating almonds too?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. I haven't been here.
I'm not talking to you.
Ah, steak.
Hold on, let me eat one. We'll test it.
Let me hear that. Let me hear.
Can you hear it?
No.
Thank God.
I was looking forward to it.
I know, I was
Like-
so looking forward to that.
Hold on, I'll
munch.
try and do it loud. Still can't hear it?
No.
No. It would have been
Well-
great though, since right now you're on here as Almond.
Yeah, that's why I made
Just-
my name Almond. Man, no wonder Brennan loves these for his DM snack.
I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that. That was a big old crunch.
Yeah, it was. It was a big almond. Let me get a bigger one. This is ASMR for you guys.
That's some beautiful ASMR. Okay,
Truly
I'm gonna be so
enjoying.
serious. I am about to go and get 2 more of these little cuties because I'm gonna nom these down. I'm gonna
my
destroy
God.
Scurvy.
Oh.
Alyssa is single-handedly gonna cure the world of scurvy. No one will ever get it
For
again.
real.
Absolutely.
I'm almost out of Wawa.
No.
Excuse me. I'm so embarrassed, dude. I thought I was being so stealthy.
Nope.
I'm amazed that you all just kept talking, didn't say anything about it. No one was like, hey, Sevi.
No.
Maybe you
they were
should
just letting you
shut up. Yeah, they were just gonna let me
No,
sit there and keep crunching on my Cheetos.
We liked the crunch, you know?
Let me watch. Oh my god! Let me watch the live. Thank you.
The cure for scurvy is back.
Oh, what's up? Also, I just love that Nova is just so fucking gay sometimes. Like, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to make her this way.
I told you it was
I
just gonna be
love
us
it,
flirting
though.
back and forth the whole time. Ugh,
Yeah.
excuse me. Man, this is gonna be so fun to edit out. I might keep the whole bit of me crunching though. I feel like I
think you
have to include
should.
that.
Don't have edit out the conversation around it. Just keep the straight up crunch.
Just keep the crunches.
Yeah, no words, just crunching, and I'll do a crunch meter. Actually, I think I'll send this over to you, Jess, and you can edit it.
Hey.
All the crunches.
In terms of editing stuff out, I was thinking earlier when you were trying to stream it to YouTube, I realized, wait, shit. What if somehow the Bellarmine School of Education finds out the things that I say?
Oh, God.
Well, it's a good thing I don't put names on here, you know?
Yeah,
You can't key name search you with it. I just say
they
your name
can't
in the
prove
video.
it.
Yeah.
They can't prove it, and they can't find me anyway.
Yeah, see, that's what was so good. That's what was so good about my Instagram. Whenever you looked up Core Ian, you just found Korean stuff, so no one could find me. Even if I gave you my exact username, you couldn't find it.
I found you.
Well, yeah, if you're searching on Instagram, but if you're looking on Google and stuff like that, which a lot of people,
Oh yeah.
yeah, which companies try to do, you couldn't find me. It was just Korean shit.
Um,
I feel like we have to do a recap of what just happened.
yeah, I don't remember where we are. There's a puppy,
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
dog.
I remember there's
and there are
That's all
harpers
I-
that I recognized.
Yeah, this doggy.
Doggy.
Oh.
Does the doggy have a name?
Shit. Hold
You
on.
didn't think that far ahead, did you?
No,
It doesn't
I
have to.
didn't. Hold on. Not from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's
Name it
summer.
Summer.
Why? Why is the brain cells? We'll do
Grunt.
No, Jekyll. This one isn't Jekyll.
So somewhere does he have a brother named Hyde?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Flutter has 2. You just haven't seen him yet.
My fingertips are going numb from eating this orange.
Maybe you should stop eating oranges. This is where you find out that you're deathly allergic to them.
Fuck no. I need to prevent scurvy.
You know, oranges you need to share.
Alyssa is preventing my scurvy right now too.
I am.
Yeah, you're gonna see a nationwide decline, a drastic drop in scurvy cases. No one gets it anymore.
Hell yeah. It's gonna be from me consuming these cuties and my own homemade screwdrivers.
Yep. And whenever we go and get brunch one day and we just keep drinking the bottomless mimosas.
Drinking the orange juice, yeah.
Yeah.
We should get brunch.
I'm gonna be so honest, guys. Mimosas aren't really great. They're okay. The one that I had was a pomegranate one. And, like, it was fine, but I think I'll probably like it more so if it's
I
an
had
orange
one
juice.
that was like 90% champagne,
Yeah.
10% orange juice.
Something that I've now discovered because my dad kinda created it / accidentally discovered it. Adding rye to Diet Dr. Pepper. Surprisingly really good. And like, I discovered 2 things with that this week. 1, I like rye. And 2, I like Diet Dr. Pepper, apparently. Which I normally don't drink soda of any kind, so there's that.
How do you
I don't know
accidentally
what we
put
call
rye
it.
in Diet Dr. Pepper?
No, I don't think like he accidentally put it in there. Like he thought about it. I think it was just like an accidental discovery of something good.
Mm.
Like my dad mixes drinks, but not like professionally or anything.
Like Leaf Air.
And I think he
Discovering America.
playing around with shit one day, and then he just brought me a cup from and was like, "Here, try this." I was like, "Okay." I made one
Oh
for
no!
myself
Can you
the
all
other
hear me
night.
swallow?
Do it again.
No.
Hold on for me.
Okay, you all can't hear it.
Damn.
You should put your microphone right next to your neck, actually.
I don't
You should put it
have a
in
microphone.
your
It's just built into the headphones.
Then bend your neck down over your like.
Wait, what if I hold on? I'll put my headphones against my throat, so I can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is gonna be so gross. Imagine you can hear it.
I'll be right back.
Oh my god, can this bitch just stay?
Fine.
I think I heard it.
Fine. Like, to the
That's embarrassing. We're never gonna do that again. Because if you could hear it, the recording would hear
Leave it in.
it. Chat, leave it in.
Again, just edit out the dialogue around it and just leave it as is.
Mm-hmm. Just no explanation, no nothing. Just
Gulp.
gulp. Crunch, crunch, gulp. It'll also
Oh,
pick
yeah.
up me just saying hing-a-ding-a-durgan. As Alyssa was explaining how their father
can make,
discovered
like, a-
putting rye.
Somebody could make a remix of that, of just like combining the noises of you munching and crunching and
And make a song
gulping
out of
and
it.
making those noises.
Yeah. Man, I love playing D&D.
Bro, I went out to, like, back when I went to get my popcorn before we'd started, I walked out and my dad went, "Hey, are you done?" And I was like, "No, father. No.
We haven't even
We have not
started.
yet begun."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, okay."
No, I'd really love to get to combat.
Combat, damn it!
We'll text
You know
your
what I want to
friend.
use, Sevi. Sevi, you know what I want to use.
I do know what you want to use. I
I have been waiting.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
think I
gonna
need
give
to
you
say
the
anything.
I don't think it's gonna give you the results that you want though.
What if I tell you I have a list of things that I can say because you gave me the command that I could say anything as long as I'm not hurting someone.
And it's one word.
I know. I have infinite things.
The fact that you came up with
Infinite.
more than one is so impressive to me.
Oh yes.
I'm never gonna give you suggestion. I'm boycotting that right now. You're never gonna get suggestion as a spell.
No. If you don't let me cast it during combat, I'm just gonna cast it on some random person.
No, you have command, which is one word. Suggestion is 1 to 2 sentences.
Oh. Can you imagine? Like,
go to my penthouse
all
and
over his face.
See, the thing about suggestion though is that it has to be a reasonable command. And what if I just make you go attack a bunch of incels?
Reasonable.
You're gonna go attack a covenant of sexless virgins. You will get to do whatever you want. You have no power here, witch.
Continue.
Are we ready?
Finished my 4th orange.
Yeah,
I'm officially marked safe from scurvy today.
I'm so glad that you
Yay.
saved us from scurvy today.
Sevi, you know what I'm ready for.
I'm ready for combat. I'm ready to come.
Do I know what you're ready for?
What am I ready for?
What are you ready? Oh, I remember what you're ready for.
Me?
Yeah. I'm ready for it too. I'm just ready to play the game, you know?
I'm intrigued.
I'm ready.
All my attempts at being
Crane.
passive aggressive aren't being understood because someone just is half listening. Or isn't even here to hear it.
This is true.
Right.
Are you finally back, Jess?
Yeah, I'm right there. I said it.
Okay. Anyways, where were we? Oh, yeah, okay.
Puppy dog.
Puppy dog. Let me get the music back.
Doggy doggy.
Puppy doggy. So you all...
Wait, what's the dog's name again?
Puppy dog.
Jekyll. Jekyll, and then Flutter has another dire wolf called Hyde, but Hyde is not here currently. Hyde is away.
Okay.
It's hiding.
Hiding.
It's hiding. Yeah, so you all are upstairs in the 2nd floor of the tailor shop. Insert long description that I made up off the top of my head here. And there are all of the Harpers. Not all of them, but there are a lot of Harpers that, are in the room with you all now. And you see that the doors of the balcony are open, and some of them are out standing there looking out at the town hall, which is just right beneath you guys. And Flutter is waving for you all to come over as the room is like quieted down to introduce yourselves and to make acquaintances. You see that there are a few barrels of ale and people have mugs that they're just dipping into it. So they have they have a bunch of mugs that are just around the room, so you can pick up one if you want to start drinking. They also have clean ones and stuff like that. It's not like a messy, dirty area. They're doing their best to take care of it and make sure that everything stays clean. That there's no spilled ale or anything. Wow, don't all speak at once, guys.
Sorry, I'm gonna assume that after my dear friend Flutter has greeted her loyal dire wolf and referred to myself and my companions as friends, you said that Jekyll like kind of bowed his head to us.
Yeah, you noticed that he lifted his head to look over at you guys, but then whenever Flutter came over, he visibly relaxed whenever she started like scratching his muzzle.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over and follow Flutter so that I can go and meet the doggy.
Jekyll doesn't recognize you, but he does know your scent because when Flutter was around you, he basically Flutter being in your vicinity means that she was able to pick up some of your scent, so he does recognize you, and instead of baring his teeth or anything, he sort of like just lifts his head up and stares up at you, and then very slowly just plops his massive head in your hands, even if you're waiting for it or not.
Excellent. I give him like the most loving of scratches and pets.
His eyes close and his ears fold back so they're laying on top of your hands. Your hand is as big as one of his ears, just to give you a comparison of like how big dire wolves are. They are utterly massive. So his head weighs a lot, so you can't physically hold it or like keep him from falling down. If he wants to lay down, he's gonna lay down and take you with him. But as of right now, he's keeping his head up and he's letting you scratch him.
Okie dokie.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Nova watches Elzaniah, petting the pupper, and she looks down in her bag to see what Alfie is up to.
Alfie is not paying attention to anything. His head is buried in his paws in the very bottom of the bag, so he's like hiding himself as best he can in there.
Great.
Nyla follows after Flutter because she has some questions for him. More like 8 questions.
Flutter notices you walk up behind her, and she turns around and finally stands up at full height again. She goes, "How can I help you? Is everything all right?"
Please, how did I word this earlier?
I'll turn you up because you are so quiet.
Better way of putting this. Nyla asks if she has encountered a devil recently in Erie.
Devil? No, can't really say that I have. We haven't really had many fiends here. Not really any that I've noticed. No, can't say that I have. Why is it that you ask?
Specific reason.
Give me a perception check. So you're cutting in and out really bad for me. I don't know if you are for everyone else, but I can hear like every other word.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Yeah.
I heard that shit.
Hear me now, is it still cutting out?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Four.
You are standing there in front of Flutter, and even though you're tall, she's still significantly taller than you. And whenever she's talking, she's very animated, so she moves her hands a lot. you can't help but notice that her hands do look very soft, and you just start thinking about Nova and how Nova could not shut up about how soft her hands were, and now you're kind of curious about how soft her hands are. So you don't really pick up anything about, you know, her tone or the rest of the room or anything like that.
Nyla looks around the room for Mr. Sparkles to get out of this awkward interaction.
Yeah, that whole silence, she was just sitting there staring at you, smiling. She just doesn't care about awkward silences. She'll just sit and stare until someone says something again. Mr. Sparkles is currently over by the dire wolf, but he's like almost completely covered by the thing's tail. He keeps like just trying to also pet it because it just looks like a big. In his mind, he thinks it's like a mom, so he's trying to like curl up against it, and Jekyll just does not care. It's still just being petted by Elzaniah.
Nyla walks towards Mr. Sparkles to grab him and to take him downstairs because she wants to sleep.
Give me. We're gonna do an opposed
There's
athletics check.
Okay.
So we're both just gonna roll a flat d20. Let me see. I'll do this one. This one feels like Mr. Sparkles. It's my sparkly one. And again, we're still just doing honor system. I trust you guys. You trust me. What'd you get?
I got 17.
Mr. Sparkles got a 2. So
God damn, Mr. Sparkles.
you quite easily grab him. He's like, he tried grabbing on to Jekyll, but he couldn't really get firm grasp of his skin. He just like got some of his fur, and so you are very easily pick up the possum, and his little fingers just slide right through the dog's fur, and he starts like wiggling in your arms, but he's not able to like get any grasp to like get away, and he just keeps going. Like he wants to be over at Jekyll's side so bad, so he's just pitching a fit.
No, we're leaving, Mr. Sparkles. Stop being a brat and let's just go peacefully.
Flutter looks over at you and she goes, "Oh, are you leaving already? Well, it was very good to meet you, and if you ever need anything at all, just stop by. We are in the building that's right beside the town hall. So it's to the very left of it. If you ever need anything, you just ask for me and I can help you at any time."
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
From where Elzaniah is in the room, can she like hear tidbits of conversation?
From who?
Like just from like the other Harpers in the room.
Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Time to double check my modifiers again. So I don't remember shit. Okay. Alrighty, that is a nat 1.
No, you
Oh
don't
god, I
really hear
haven't got one
anything.
yet.
Dead.
You don't really hear anything because where you're standing is right by the balcony doors. So you basically hear a garble of like people talking outside and people talking inside. It's just too much for you to pick up on and really key in on. So you don't, since you haven't really thought of something that you want to hear in this instance, you can't really pick up on any words and stuff like that. You're also just very incredibly distracted by Jekyll, who is, he's rolled over onto his side now, so he's presenting his belly, just like paws are up in the
Oh,
air.
excellent.
And you are
I am
very
giving-
invested.
I am giving him the best of belly rubs.
His back leg
and
starts kicking.
Excellent. From this vantage point, though, understanding that his legs are in the air, am I like totally distracted, or would I be able to like glance out the window / balcony and see if I can potentially see Henry down there or spot anything of interest?
What did you get again? A 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't see anything. I'm sorry. You are
Cool.
just so
That's
invested you're just so invested in Jekyll that Henry has left your mind for a moment because you just know that he's being a good boy.
He's being a very good boy.
Can Nova do a perception check? Because
Yeah,
she's
of
not
course.
distracted by the pupper.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just rolled a nat 20.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
What is it that you're trying to hear? Is it conversation inside or outside?
Nova's on the inside.
Yeah, but the balcony doors are open and you're near the balcony, so you're
Oh.
trying to hear stuff that's
Yeah.
going on outside or inside?
Inside.
Inside? You
Yeah.
notice that everyone is on edge. Very on edge. And you didn't notice it before, but as Nyla was leaving, all the Harpers are like taking second glances at her, and there are a few things that are putting them on edge. You're not exactly sure what, but you did notice that as soon as she mentioned something about a devil, everyone instinctively went for their weapons and then realized that she wasn't an issue and dropped it. But everyone did get on edge very quickly, and they are very distrusting of you guys right now.
Elzanaya,
Yes. Oh,
I think we need to get out of here.
Jekyll has like kicked. He's right next to a little table or one of the little chairs. He has fully kicked it over, and it is like banging up against the wall of how fierce his leg is kicking.
I don't know. We just need to go.
Well, all right. I suppose if you believe we must go, then perhaps we have overstayed our welcome just a tad. And I give Jekyll a final like pat on the belly and scratch behind the ear, and whisper a blessing from my goddess over him before I stand up and turn to Flutter and say thank you as ever, my dear, for your hospitality, but I believe we may have overstayed our welcome, and we should probably go after our friend.
Oh, well, that's not a problem at all. Again, anytime that you'll want to, our doors are always open for you, especially you, Elzanaya. And I know Hyde is somewhere out there. If you don't mind looking for him, I know that he'd be very excited to see you.
Looking for who? I couldn't quite hear you. You were muffled.
Oh, sorry. She said it was very good to see you. Anytime that you need help, she's always there. And she said she said that Hyde is somewhere out there in the crowd, so if you don't mind looking for him, she'd appreciate it.
I will so keep an eye out for him, and I say that in the most elegant way. Alright, that's a very illicit way to say that. Of course, my dear. I will keep an eye out for the lovely boy. And I'll send him your way once I've found him.
Thank you. I'd very much appreciate that. He just has a knack for hiding, as I'm sure you're quite aware of.
Oh, yes.
Nova, I forgot to mention, you noticed that Dorian and what's her name? Cornelia did not come upstairs with you guys. They are still downstairs.
I was
Okay.
wondering where she went.
Yeah. Nova's gonna grab Elzaniah's hand and start walking back down the stairs. This whole dance. She's just gonna like quietly be mumbling to herself. Dance.
Nova, you do hear in your mind, can you please shut up about the soft fucking hands? I don't always want to hear about that, you know?
Well, I'm sorry that your hands are rough.
I'm not even going to entertain that with a response.
Nova,
Also, you picked shit company.
Excuse me?
You picked them, I didn't.
She's tall? She's pretty? What's your problem? Are you jealous?
She's insane. No. He is.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
are.
not.
Oh,
No, I'm
is Alfie jealous that my attention's
No.
going somewhere else other than on
No.
his head? Yeah, okay.
No.
Uh-huh.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nova's gonna be mumbling to herself as she pulls Elzaniah downstairs.
Just fully
Elzaniah's
muttering
just
to
gonna take this in stride and not say anything. She has understood that this is part of your character.
Also, of everyone here, Elzaniah is in no boat to sit there and be like, yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, no. Elzaniah has seen a lot in her time, and she's, as an elf, she's quite... She's lived a long time, so she's seen plenty of people. She and her companion is a somewhat maniacal goose, so, you know.
Somewhat
yeah,
maniacal.
no. She, if anything, she finds it endearing.
Nova's gonna look at Elzaniah and just be like, Nyla mentioned something about a devil, and they all freaked out. I just figured we'd best get out of here.
Oh, yes, I did miss that. You're so perceptive. Yes, that probably would be the best idea. I wonder what she meant.
Same. We should
let's go
go
and
find
find
her.
As you all walk downstairs, you notice that Dorian and Cornelia are both standing by the door. Cornelia is like whispering to him, and as soon as they realize that you're there, she immediately looks away from him and like starts covering her mouth a little bit. A nervous little tick of hers where she can't stop moving her hands and stuff like that. So she has her hand where her fingers are like right below her nose, and she's sort of muttering to herself. And Dorian just taps her really quick on the shoulder, and she stops and looks at you guys. Oh, how did it go up there? You all weren't up there for long.
Noah just looks at Elzaniah, because she's better at words than Nova.
I was really hoping you wouldn't say that. That's fine. Yeah. Well, yes, my dear old friend Flutter was gracious enough to show us to some of the other Harpers and to one of her dire wolves, Jekyll, an amazingly snuggly dire wolf for, you know, what he is. But yes, we only stayed a few minutes. By any chance, did you see our other friend Nyla run by here a moment ago? She left rather quickly.
Oh, yes, she passed us on the way out. She's just outside the front door right now.
Well, my lady, do you have any other questions of the Harpers that you might like to stick around and find out about?
And you see Dorian puts his hand up. No, not at the moment. We're fine. And she immediately nods her head and goes, yep, we're fine.
Oh, all right. What do we say of going and reuniting with the rest of our companions and she says this also thinking of Henry, and sure that he's been a good boy, but she should probably find him soon.
Sounds good. Let's make like a tree and leaf.
Elzaniah gives a very like trickling laugh. That's like, I don't know. It sounds nice. I don't know. I can't
Sounds very
mimic it.
pleasant to the ear.
Yeah. Thank you.
So as you walk outside the tailor's shop, you are hit with the smell of roasting meat seasoned with spices found all around Earth. The flavors melt on your tongue. Alfie's eyes start to water. Nope, hold on. I can't do this with this song.
Eyes start to water.
He's gonna cry over how good this meat smells.
He's just tearing up over there.
No. You see, Alfie's eyes start to water as a merchant walks past holding a spit full of different meats and charred onions. The rest of your eyes begin to sting, but that passes as before the tears can well. The winds have picked up by now as the clouds part and welcome beams of sunlight. You see where you previously couldn't due to the fog. Strings of iridescent glass beads and panels of stained glass paint the ground with rainbows. Figures in the glass dance at your feet. Mr. Sparkles starts pouncing on the ground. There's a little opening in the crowd in front of you guys, and you see Nyla standing off to the side trying to get Mr. Sparkles as he just keeps pouncing on these different figures in the glass. He starts pouncing on the ground trying to catch the glimmering lights, and you see other children following in his moves. At the town hall, you finally see the rest of the council. Sandcast is clapping her hands together, bouncing on her heels, her feet still bared of shoes, and beside her is a tall elven man with bronze skin. A scar cuts across his left eye. His eyes are pale, almost white against the black color of where the whites of your eyes would usually be. His are black. He wears ornate garb of an off-white, almost cream color with pieces of leather armor cinched at his waist and bound around his arms. Next to him, practically leaning against him, is a shorter, though still taller than Sandcast, high elven woman with long brown hair and is braided back down the length of her body. 2 white strips hang in front of her pointed ears. She's dressed in a long, flowing green skirt embroidered with beautiful flowers that match her white top tucked into the leather corset that she wears. And stood in the back of the group is a massive figure completely covered in a veil that flows from her hat and coils around her body where her eyes would be, is a crimson blindfold. Her dress is long-sleeved, ending at her hands. Almost every part of her is covered. And you recognize all of these figures as the Council of Warriors, and you know them by their names as Flutter and the other Harpers had addressed them. You see the one that has the long braids is Darna Stillwind. She's one of the council that helped kill the king, and this is what she's wearing. Beside her is Urdak Stillbrand, and this is what he's wearing. And then in the very back of the group is Cathara Silverveil, who is again completely covered head to toe. You can only see a little bit of her blooming blue skin, and you know her as a water Genasi.
Do I or should I recognize anything about the high elf? Darna, was it?
Yes, Darna. No, you don't really recognize her. You know that her style is closer to a wood elf, or at least someone who is closer to a druid, or someone who has just particularly been in nature. You know her specifically because you were around during the Civil War. At least you know a lot about it because you've been in Aragon for so long. You know that she was one of the people who worked closest with the Harpers, so she is a lot closer to them than anyone else is. She actually started off as a Harper and then was inducted into the Council of Warriors. She was instrumental in seducing the king to get him into a private chamber to effectively kill him. that night. You know her as being the flirt of Irrigan. She is one of the people who never settles down with anyone, never really has a lover, but she is known quite often of going around and flirting with really any and everything that she can.
Thanks.
As you all are standing there, you see Urdak. Excuse me. This fella. You see him walk forward, where the rest of the people who have noticed it's now a lot more lively. It seems that the celebration has started. People are dancing still to the music. Others have started participating in little games that are going around, really just to collect small coins and stuff like that. Urdak steps forward, and before he can even start talking, Elzaniah, you notice Henry comes waddling up to you, squawking, and in his beak are several pouches, and each more full than the last. Take a d20, roll it, and whatever you roll, we're gonna put a 0 at the end of it.
Damn, okay, it came up with the exact number that I was thinking, but hoping it wouldn't be, but that's a 6.
That's a 6, so you earn 60, 60 silver pieces.
Silver? Okay. Can he put that in his little backpack?
You'd have to do
Those
it for
pouches.
him, but yes, you can put it in his backpack.
I'm actually not certain where to add them. Let me see if that's... Okay, here we go. You said... Yeah, we said 60.
Mm-hmm.
He is added. Thank you.
Let me also put that in my notes. He also had been out there for quite a while. You all realize that it's whenever you first started the session, it was still mid morning, so the sun hadn't fully risen. By now, it's getting later into the afternoon, so the sun is fully in the sky, and it's going to start setting. Not quite soon, but it will start setting in the next few hours.
Oh, also, another question back on the coins. I remembered when you said it earlier, but when I introduced Elzaniah and she was putting a coin in her pouch, was that like just the last part of my total that we said I would originally start with, or
Yes.
is that one more on top of that? Okay, that's what I thought.
That's the last part.
Okay, thank you.
So as you all are standing there, you see Urdak move towards the front of the group, where he's standing at the very top of the stairs in front of the town hall, and he clears his throat, and almost immediately his presence, you feel it. It's this palpable sense that envelops the air. It's almost a heroic aura that starts to claim you, and the moment that he steps forward, you see his shoulders broaden, and the only thing that you can really imagine is that you are standing in front of someone who commands utmost respect and who has served enough to have earned it in this moment. The whole crowd falls into a massive silence. Even Henry and Mr. Sparkles aren't making any noise, as Urdak says, welcome, citizens of Irrigan, to the annual Blue Moon Festival. We invite all to join our feast tonight in the halls of the ancients, share in the festivities for the coming days, and above all else, rejoice in the blessing of our forefathers, honor their sacrifices, and live the life they could not. The wolves are being prepared for their run. Bettings are open for those who wish to participate. Eat, drink, and enjoy the merriment. And he throws his hands up in the air, and you see, as he does, there are 2 strings that are connected to the town hall. You see that they are cut and then fall, and as they fall, little glass vials shatter on the ground and erupt in these massive blooms of color. It almost looks like plants have sprouted from the ground, and there are elegant flowers growing root in the moment. And beneath the sunlight, you see, for once, because Irrigan is quite known for being foggy, you see the light penetrate and reflect all the colors against the buildings, and you have never seen anything more beautiful in this moment. The crowd erupts into cheers and applause. It's a roar that fills your ears. It's a roar that fills your ears and drowns out any other noise, and you can feel again the sense of ease and of excitement. Someone, only one person, give me a history check.
Does anybody have positive modifier on history?
No.
Let me-
I couldn't hear you.
I think Jess said that she does have a positive modifier for it.
I said I'm not sure.
Oh.
It's being stupid on my tablet. I have to open D&D Beyond on my laptop. Hold on. Let's sign in. Should already be signed in. Yeah, okay, here's your phone.
Excuse me.
Do not.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has a modifier for it right now because your classes didn't.
Okey-dokey. Well, who's feeling lucky?
Not Alyssa.
Feeling it.
Not me right now.
No, I'm feeling it.
Yeah?
I've got that fiend in me. Oh.
That doesn't stop positive.
I got a 4.
You have no idea what he's talking about whenever he says the wolves are getting ready.
The wolves are getting ready.
Damn. I would have gotten a 12. Sorry.
You all see that.
Sorry.
You all see that Dorian, he was leaned against the wall of the tailor. He eventually steps forward, and Cornelia gives him a look, and he's like, yeah, I got it. What he means is that you can bet on the wolves. They're gonna run them, essentially. They're gonna start from the temple that's on the cliff. They're gonna run them down the coast, run them through the city, and whoever makes it back first wins. It's like horse betting.
Oh, I'd better find Hyde.
How much to get in on the bets?
You can bet whatever you like, honestly. I don't do it, it's not worth it. Els and I, give me a perception check. With advantage, because you do know this dog.
Yeah.
Just some epic fucking music.
Raphael's name has only played once.
That is going to be a 23.
23. You see that, trying to think. You see that the other harpers who weren't in the upper portion of the tailor shop, they are the ones who are getting all the wolves ready. And so they also have some other dire wolves that are joining them. You see that Hyde is sort of circling everyone. He acts as like a sheep herder. So how like shepherds, how they are, like Australian shepherds, miniature shepherds, stuff like that, how they sort of help keep everyone moving in the same direction. That's what he's doing. He's herding all of the other wolves because he is the biggest out of all of them. And Hyde is a stark white wolf. Again, he's a very good boy. Hyde has golden eyes opposed to Jekyll, and he has a large cut from the tip of his left ear. You see that part of it is missing, like a big chunk of it's gone, but he can still hear, and it cuts all the way down across his face, so it cuts over his left eye. It is completely gone. That eye is not there. In fact, it is shut. and it cuts down in front of his muzzle, and so part of his snout, like part of his lip is also missing, so you can see his teeth. But you know him as the sweetest boy ever, and if you were to whistle, he would come immediately.
Okay. Well, it does seem like his herding job is important, so I think I'm gonna give a nod to my companions, letting them know that I've found Hyde, whom I promised to return to Flutter. And I'm gonna tell Henry to follow me, and I'm gonna go up towards where they're gathering, not right up on them, so that I can still whistle for him, but I'm gonna move closer and let him continue doing his very good job for the moment.
Yeah, he's very hard at work. He's not the only one that's hurting them, but he is the one that all the wolves listen to. The wolves meaning any dog that lives in Aragon. It is a very dog-filled city, so a lot of people, their owners, are walking them on leashes, and the harpers give waves for them that they can let go of their leash or that they can even take it off. And you see that Hyde immediately runs up to these dogs and pushes them into line. So there's just this massive crowd of dogs, and some of them are baying at one another. Whenever they try and snap, you see that Hyde gives this very low, menacing growl, and they immediately stop. And he's slowly he's very good at his job, and he's guiding them up towards where the other harpers are waiting on horses. So he's not going to leave the city, or at least the perimeter. He's going to stay there, but he's leading them towards the harpers that are on horses, who are going to continue guiding them up towards the temple.
Okay. I'm good to follow as he moves them in that direction, because again, he's doing an excellent job and being a very good boy, and I'm sure that Flutter can spare him for a little bit longer before the races begin.
Oh, fuck.
Good, Emma?
I spilled water on my pants.
Oh.
I look like I did a tinkle.
What is everyone else doing in this moment?
Nova's gonna go find out where she can bet money on these wolves. Go find me the puppy dealer.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, you know how good I am with perception.
You can do it with advantage because Alfie's gonna help you.
Okay. Hi. Is I not 20 again? I promise I did.
You look
Swear
around.
to God, I'm crying.
You're okay. It's fine. Because you know you're gonna roll so bad whenever we do get to combat eventually.
Yep.
You see that Sandcast is the one who is taking all the bets, so a lot of people are walking up to her, and in the middle of her dancing, she's collecting coins and writing down in a little ledger that they have.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to her.
Sandcast notices you before you even break from the crowd, and she's immediately waving you over, oh, come on!
Well, hello there.
Hello, it's so good to see you again!
I heard that you are betting on dogs?
Oh, yes, you can bet on any of the dogs that you would like. Would you like to look at the odds?
Yes, please, I would, yeah.
She turns over the ledger and flips a few pages and shows that Jekyll and Hyde both are tied for having the best odds.
Is Hyde racing today?
Yes, Hyde is racing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll bet on Hyde.
And how much would you like to bet?
I do 20 silver.
20 silver. All right. And so she makes a note of that in the ledger. And she has you write down your name. And then she opens up the bag that she's holding and lets you deposit your 20 silver.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I know I'm not really supposed to, but I also have my money on Hyde.
Oh. You think he's gonna win?
He's won every year.
Good. Noah's
you
gonna sort of awkwardly turn around.
You said you bet 20 silver pieces?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Does anyone else want to place a bet?
You know what? I'm gonna assume that Elzanaya either did this before she ran off to follow Hyde, or she had Henry do it on her behalf. But I'll also bet hold on, let me look at my stuff again. I'll bet 40 silver.
Oh shit, high spender.
Well, I just got some extra. So.
Yeah, this is Henry's silver that you're stealing, but he looks very
Henry's
pleased.
silver.
Yeah, this is Henry's silver.
Yeah. Oh, I also, when Henry came back to me with his little bags, I gave him a treat for being a good boy.
Henry immediately devoured it. Didn't even swallow. Or didn't even chew it, he just swallowed it immediately.
Yeah. He also got a good pat. He's a good boy.
It's a very good boy.
That's a pat.
Nyla, you betting? Excuse me. So I'm gonna take that as a no.
You didn't hear me. I said no.
Okay. So Nyla is not betting. Alrighty. I'm just gonna do a little skip here because I'd like to get further along. But essentially, all of the Elzanaya, you follow along the Harpers, and eventually Hyde. You see, or at least you hear, Jekyll comes and joins everyone. So Jekyll comes and runs down. Oh, severe thunderstorm warning. That's fun.
Yep, I just got that too.
You see that Jekyll comes running down, and so he runs up behind Hyde, and they rub up against one another, and they go and join the rest of the pack of wolves that have gathered. Elzanai, you follow them all the way up to the temple, which is at the very top of the cliff of Irrigan, and it takes about an hour to get everyone set up, so it's about 3 in the afternoon at this point. All the rest of you, there are displays. You're not really sure what type of magic does this, but there is magic that lets you observe the standing. So there's like a bunch of names that come up. And if some of the wolves, like the strays, aren't named, it does have a little filler name. So some of them are like flower, peach, apricot, stuff like that. Just little names that they give the dogs that aren't really homed or owned by anyone. You see that they are all sort of filling in this list of where they are, and as the dogs finally are ready, the rest of you are starting to eat, enjoy some of the festivities that are going on. There is an echoing burst, and all of a sudden the wolves start running, and you don't hear it, but you do hear the excitement as the board that is filled with names starts moving depending on the wolf that's in the lead. Elzanaya, you do watch this as you're at the top of the cliff. You have a perfect view of the wolves as they dart down the cliff. They go Their paws are beating against the sand as they jump down from the edge of the cliff where it's sort of a rocky shore. They jump down, run against the waves that are reaching onto the shore. Their fur getting all matted and coated with seawater, but they don't seem to care at all, just the fact that they're running. The other harpers are following right next to them on their horses. They're even struggling to keep up with these wolves. Someone give me a flat, just roll your d20, and I'll roll it too. Anyone can do it. Just tell me who's gonna do it first.
I want to.
Alright, Jess. Roll your d20.
17.
Wow, I am cursed today. 17. So, you all, Elzanai, you watch as Jekyll and Hyde are sort of stuck in the middle of the pack. They're getting absolutely bombarded by bodies. The wolves keep like rushing into them because they're so massive they don't even mean to. And you see Hyde start to break free. He pushes through the rest of the group and not snapping or anything, not playing any dirty tricks, but he does snap through the rest. And as the wolves turn and start to go towards the city, you start hearing all the barking and the baying and the wolves, or the woofing of these big dogs. And you all see Nova specifically, the crowd parts for everyone, so everyone moves to the left side of the plaza, the way the wolves have ample space to run. You see Hyde is at the very front of the crowd. In fact, there's about a 3-second gap between, and Jekyll is right behind Hyde and is sort of like keeping up pace with him. They're running side by side, and as the wolves get back up towards the temple, you see Hyde break forward in a dead sprint and crosses the finish line. And you all double your bets. So Nova, you win 40 silver pieces, and Elzanai, you win 80.
Whoa! Yo. Alrighty.
I'm so sorry. I have to pee so bad.
I have to pee too. Pee party returns.
Pee party.
Talk about no. But have you ever seen? Like a high school quarterback try to find a middle-aged man in and out, and the
Emma's back from her pee.
destroys.
Hello.
Hello.
You want to see the YouTuber making a 4-hour video about Galaxy's Edge? Why? She could play the ticket for $6,000.
Emma's ready for combat.
I'm trying to get us there. We keep having to pause.
Give me combat. Give me death.
Don't worry, I'll do another skip because this is taking quite a while. I just don't want to cut into the story, but I feel like you all are going to be here for quite a while, and I think we're all kind of antsy for something to happen, so I'll do another skip whenever we're all back.
I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome.
So you all go up to Sandcast. Elzanai, I am gonna sort of take control of your characters for a second. Elzanai, you come back with the rest of the Harpers. Jekyll and Hyde are right at your side, and you see that Flutter has come down from the tailor shop, and so she rushes down to embrace her boys. Very, very proud of them. She herself won a bunch of silver because Hyde just can't seem to help himself and always has to win everything. But you all go up to Sandcast and claim. your prize money. A lot of people are very bitter, but they understand that like Hyde has won every single year since the first time that he joined. So there's really no point in betting against him at the moment. Maybe one day Jekyll will win. um, Anyways, you all sit there and Sandcast continues talking with you all. She, explains that she was so very excited to see you all again, and she invites you all to join for the feast in the Hall of the Ancients, which you all know to be Town Hall. Specifically, the Hall of the Ancients is the upper portion where it's sort of like the apartments of the council. This is where they live. There is no castle in Irrigan anymore. It was completely torn down, and the materials were used to create apartments for everyone. So there is ample housing and free housing for all the people of Irrigan. So as the day starts to come to a still, the libation is still going on outside. People are still excited and dancing and partying well into the evening, but that's just what tends to happen with these sorts of events. And you all are invited to the upper apartments of the Hall of the Ancients. Excuse me, specifically by Sandcast, who invites you all to dinner. It is, excuse me, I have the hiccups now. It is a private dinner that is for you all specifically. You see that some of the Harpers are there, like Flutter. You see that Eliza is there, finally taking a break from working. She had someone else come and pick up her shift for the rest of the night, so they're going to take care of the inn and the tavern while she's there. You notice that Dorian is standing off to the side with Cornelia. The room where you all are eating is quite a large room. Even though it's a private dinner, it's still massive, and there are still a lot of people that are there. Specifically, the council gets to invite people, so it's almost like a ballroom where one part of it has tables where you can sit at and eat, and the rest of it is where you can dance and stuff like that. And of course, Sandcast is going. She takes a bite, and then she immediately runs back onto the dance floor. You see that Kithara, the one who's veiled, has changed her veil. It's now a cream color, which complements her blue skin very beautifully, and she's standing off towards the side talking to Urdak. And you can't really pick up any of their conversation. And they don't really take to you as well as Sandcast did, but Sandcast is checking in with you all quite often, making sure that you all are comfortable, that you all are okay. She even invites you all to stay in the apartments if you so choose. If not, Eliza has also volunteered rooms for you all. You would have to pay for it, but it would be at a much reduced cost of what she would usually charge visitors to the tavern. And as you all are sitting there talking, Sandcast informs you all that tomorrow they're doing different events. They're hosting different things. So sort of like a field day for us where you can choose if you want to do the inside stuff or the outside stuff. There are 3 separate events. So, yes, there are 3 separate events. The first one is a hunt that is going on with the Harpers. So Flutter and the dogs are going out and hunting with Urdak. They are specifically going to hunt elk because for the second part of the festival there is an honoring for some god specifically that people have chosen to, and they require the antlers of elks. And also venison is one of the best meals to have at this time of year because the elk have been left alone for so long that they finally have grown plump and juicy, and Urdak loves hunting. And you all know this as you got to know later into the night. The second event is rain dancing with Sandcast, where you go out in the very beginning of the day, and she explains to you that rain specifically is very important for spell components. And so what she does is she takes a bunch of people outside with jars, and they collect all the rain, and they dance to compel more rain and to bring up spirits and to commune with spirits. Some people choose to. Other times they just go to bless themselves with their connection to water spirits, or at least to water itself, the element. And the third event is dog grooming with Darna, where they treat all of the dogs that had just run the previous night, except the ones that are going hunting, to baths over at the river, where there is a specific portion of the river that's been cut off. That way they can help bathe and clean them and just pamper them, because this is the festival of the blue moon. So it's all about honoring and celebrating nature, and specifically wolves, as they are the sacred animal of Irrigan. So her event is really just to help people get closer to their animal, and for the people who aren't able to have an animal, sadly, because they can't afford it or they just don't want to, it does allow for them to get closer to the animal as well and grow a connection there through acts of service, of course. And Sandcast opens up for you all to pick and choose any event that you all would like to go to.
At some point during our conversation with Sandcast, I think I would like for Elzaniah to ask, as, being a healer by trade, if by any chance, there might be a possibility of her getting somewhere where she could set up a tent somewhere in the city for travelers to the city. She understands that, natives of Irigan will likely trust their own physicians if they ever have an injury at any of the events or suddenly fall ill or anything. But if I might be able to provide my services to some of the travelers for a very reduced cost, or little to no fee at all.
Sandcast
if there might be a space where I could sit up the next day.
Yeah, of course. Sandcast looks delighted. I won't even make you roll a persuasion check because she does know of you, and speaking with the Harpers have given her a good idea of what your character is, at least to them. So she fully trusts you in this moment. She's like, "Oh yes, absolutely. That would be such a brilliant idea. In fact, why don't we put it right at we can put it right at Town Hall. You can have like a little tent outside of it. And what we can do is we can have the Harpers, if someone does get injured, they can just transfer them back and forth. So if someone gets injured at the the bathing of the dogs and dog grooming and stuff like that, or even if one of the dogs gets injured, they can just run them over, or if someone gets injured doing the rain dancing or even hunting, we can just have them come specifically to you, if that's alright.
Sounds perfect, thank you. Oh, I only live to serve my goddess and those around me in her name. And that would be a 23 on persuasion.
Oh yeah, she fully is convinced, and it's not going to take long for her to convince everyone else of the council to let you do this. The Harpers are also fully on board with it as well, because they overheard the conversation, and she of course went to go and explain to everyone like what was going on. So yeah, everyone's fully convinced and they are going to let you do it. Are you going to charge for it or no?
Thank you. I'm going to send you like the details, but I'm going to let this be like my standard very low cost fee, because I understand, the festivities stuff. Does that sound good? And you can like let me know what you want that to look like in terms of okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's just like what we did for Henry. I'll just have you roll for it.
Okay.
For the goddess. Would anyone else like to have a conversation before you all pick what you all want to do during the next day?
No, I'm good.
Where did that come from?
Oh.
Sorry, I was getting right at my laptop.
I think that Nova, she would like to go to rain dancing.
Okay. Nova is gonna go to rain dancing with Sandcast.
Oh, but she does have a question for rain dancing. Do we get to wear special outfits for the rain dancing? Debbie?
I think he killed Sam.
I killed Sebby, guys. No. No.
Sevy dead. We're about to see how good.
Technical difficulties, they say.
Okay.
See how good Nova can dance in the rain.
Not very good.
Hey, her performance is good.
As good as Nyla.
Hello?
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 Whoa?
Hello?
Yes.
Am I here?
Welcome to our humble abode.
Am I fixed?
I can hear you.
How do I sound?
You sound fine to me.
Like Savvy.
What the fuck happened? I think my headphones just, like, fucked off. I just had to turn them off and turn them back on again. That was really weird. Anyways. What'd you ask me? Do you get to wear special outfits?
Yeah, duh.
Only if you feel so inclined. We don't really provide any for you.
Must we wear outfits at all?
Preferably, yes. Yes.
Oh.
That's your interviews.
I'm
You
not
should
gonna
really
let
think
you
about
run
that for
naked.
next year.
I'm not gonna let you run naked in the rain, okay? Unless you really, really want to.
Do a constitution saving throw to see if you get hypothermia or not.
Can't.
No, I won't even do that. If you know what? If you want to go naked, you can go naked. I don't care.
Can I persuade?
Persuade the DM.
Yeah, persuade me. Convince me.
I'm rolling a Sebi check right now.
Roll a Sebi
Is that
check.
what we're gonna call it
I-
now? The Sebi check?
I think that's fair.
I have a 16.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
My
Nyla, what
The
are you doing?
combat better not be right now.
Nyla, what event are you gonna go to?
Nyla is going to follow Nova and do rain dancing, except not naked.
Okay, Nyla is also gonna go rain dancing with Sandcast. In Elzana, you're not gonna be a part of a celebration, and you're just gonna do the tent, or?
So I must serve my goddess.
What
But I'll let Henry enjoy the festivities, and I'll tell him to behave.
Is Henry coming to rain dancing?
Henry's
Yeah,
not.
sure.
Henry's gonna come
No.
to rain dancing.
I'm gonna
And Mr.
hand
Spark?
Henry off to you, Sebi, and I'm gonna say that I instructed him to behave.
There's not really much for him to behave, but he'll try.
Okay.
He's gonna try his hardest. Okay. Do you all just want me to narrate up until the event, or do you all want to roleplay?
I feel like we
To
should
let you narrate.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you
was
want.
gonna say that.
Okay. So as you all decide what you're gonna do, it's not like an official thing or anything. You don't have to write down the ledger like, oh, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna do that, blah blah blah. The only one who has any like official paperwork to do is you, Elzaniah. But Sandcast just volunteers herself to do it for you. She's not gonna get any sleep tonight. She's very excited for tomorrow.
Okay.
You all just decide to stay in the apartments because you all are going to work either with Sandcast, and so it's better to just be by her side or at least closest to her, or like you, Elzaniah, you're going to set up your tent outside. So you're going to. I forgot to check and make sure that my mic. Okay, my mic is working on OBS. Okay, cool. So because you have decided to
Will
set
I
up.
get my... To interrupt. Are we about to like end the day?
Yes, and I will do that stuff in a second.
Why? Okay, thanks.
Oh no.
Hold on. Milo. Shh.
Just have like a prayer thing. It's not like a big deal.
Oh no, I was unknowing for me.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay, so you all decide to
I
just
was
stay.
like, I don't do anything.
You all decide to just stay in
Do
the
what?
apartments for tonight. And so as you all. Sorry, give me 1 second again. It's storming real bad outside, guys. I got a little spooked. So you all decide to hunker down for the night at the apartments that are inside, excuse me, of the town hall. You all pick rooms that are very close to Sandcast, that way you can at least listen for whenever she gets up. As you all start to turn in for the night, I need everyone to make me their respective checks. So if you give me a prayer check, if you give me a day check, if you give me a companion check, go ahead and give that to me now, and then tell me what it is that you got.
Oh god.
Would that be religion if
Yes.
it's prayer?
Would mine have any help?
No.
No, okay.
I have to look at yours again. And if you need a reminder of what your check is, just let me know. Oh, I didn't mean for it to be like this, but if you don't want to say it out loud, you can message it to me. That's fine. And also let me know if you want me to say it out loud of what your check is, or if you want me to text it to you.
Go ahead and text mine to me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, text mine too.
Text.
Okay, have I messaged everybody? And are you all sure? Are you all sure about the roles that you have, or do you have any questions? Like, of my response to your roles.
I'm gonna text you my question.
Okay.
Oh, is my audio still being? It's not being stupid. A new picture.
Sevi, could I refuse to sleep to avoid this?
No, because you already rolled. You would have had to tell me that beforehand.
Okay. Okay.
Alyssa, with your roll, it does, but I'm checking to see if you know what it's telling you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, I will let you know what that roll is and just.
Who's that bald capybara?
Capybara.
Y'all, I was watching Jeopardy with my parents earlier, and capybara was a clue. I was so excited.
Who's that wild
Capybara. Is that our theme song almost?
Huh?
I said, is that our theme song now?
Yeah. Whenever we start, we're all just like, who's that bald capybara?
Capybara.
Does that make sense, Alyssa?
Who's that bald capybara?
It's Emma.
She is the bald
I
capybara.
think so.
Dude, I am the
Am
bald
am I looking forward to this? Or no? Okay. I'm not the kind that I usually like. Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the next morning, the night passes quite uneventful for two of you. For one of you, you know what happens. The next morning, Nyla, you wake up and something in the back of your head is telling you that it would be better if you stayed to make more money. And Mr. Sparkles just seems very tuckered out from running and playing and, jumping on all the lights last night. So you figured that it would be best if you stayed behind. And so Elzaniah, Nyla is actually going to be joining you for today. And she's going to help perform to bring more people in and to liven up their spirits. So while you're healing, she's there to heal the mind while you heal the body and the soul, if that makes sense.
Oh, excellent. All for the glory of the goddess.
Yes, indeed. You all get up early. You all get up early in the morning, much before anyone else, and you all are taken down to the entrance of the town hall. You see that no one else is really awake at this point. You see that in the town hall specifically, as you walk outside, there are some people drunkenly stumbling back home. You see that some people are holding on to their wolves and are very excited. Some of the dogs are getting antsy to go to the river because they know about the dog grooming that happens every year, and they're very excited to go back to it. You start to set up your tent, and Urdak comes over to help you. You see Cathara is now dressed again in a different veil. This one is a deep blood color, similar to the one that she wore last night, but you notice that there are jewels now that almost look like pulsating in the light itself. It looks like blood moving through the dress. So as the light touches it, it starts to move and sort of flow. So it looks like the dress itself is animated and moving. Nova, you wake up to Alfie sitting on your chest. His head is right tucked under your chin. And you feel comfort where you once didn't. You wake up in a daze, very confused about where you are, what happened. You can't help but feel panicked. The whole day just already feels off for you. You feel very antsy and uncomfortable in your skin, but Alfie is there to help calm you down and reassure you that everything is all right. You wake up. You wake up to Sandcast knocking on your door, and she calls out to you, we're gonna go ahead and go down to the river whenever you're ready. Well, not the river, sorry, we're gonna go down to the glade. I just get excited, we're gonna go down to the glade and it's gonna be so much fun. Would you like to join us for breakfast, or you just want to go straight to the glade? She's on the other side of the door, but she's fully expecting you to engage in a conversation with her.
Nova says nothing.
She knocks on the door again.
Nova pets the top of Alfie's head, rubbing between his ears before she looks at the door and pouts. I don't think I'll be coming down today.
Oh, you won't be joining us at all?
What?
She said you won't be joining them at all.
You cut off, yeah. Yeah, okay. No, I think no rain dancing, I'm afraid. I'm a bit too tired.
Give me a persuasion check.
Shall I say? Okay. Persuasion. Five.
She's not at all convinced. She puts her hand up against the door and she goes, "Well, I can't force you, but you did seem very excited about it the other night. If you change your mind, you're more than welcome to come and join us. We will be there for quite a while. And I'm sure whatever it is that's bothering you, it would be lightened by enjoying some company with some friends, and you never know where you might make them, alright? So, I won't force, but I will slightly encourage you to try and join us if you feel up to it." And, she turns to start to walk away.
Nova continues to pet between Alfie's ears.
Alfie wakes up from his sleep and nestles into your hand, and he's not really saying anything, but he does start to purr quite loudly that it's vibrating your whole chest.
Alfie,
Yes.
we aren't any closer. This stupid town that you said we should go to, it's not giving us anything.
It certainly won't give you anything if you stay locked up in your room, now will it?
You make a good point, but I don't know. You said you'd explain that thing I saw yesterday.
Yes, but then you suggested dancing naked in the rain, and I got kind of excited about that, so...
Alfie!
What? No one else can hear me, it's only you in the room.
No one else can hear you normally.
Exactly.
He thinks I'm weird.
I don't think you're weird. I think this is normal.
I know you don't. Yeah. Maybe we should go down and see what Elzanaya is doing. She said she was, what, healing people for
She's fucking
her
weird.
goddess or whatever?
I don't trust that. For her
No,
goddess.
you don't. Yeah, for... Don't make fun of her.
For her goddess. Everything for the sweet goddess. Ugh. It's
What about the
disgusting.
tiefling? Do you like her?
Which one? Oh, her? No. She's annoying. And quiet.
Do you like anyone?
You already know the answer to that, darling.
Yeah. Let's just go down and see what they're doing. I'd rather not rain dance with a bunch of strangers.
Fine. Guess I won't see you naked in the rain.
You?
Who knows, I might join you.
We could go take a bath. It'd have the same shit happen.
Same shit.
You
You certainly have a way with words.
I know, right? I'm pretty smooth. She's gonna scoop him up in her arms and grab her satchel and her cloak before leaving the room to hopefully come across her traveling companions.
They are already downstairs in the town hall. So right outside the doors, they're already out there setting up their tent.
Hey guys!
Subtle.
Good morning, my dear, and how did you sleep?
Well, you ever seen a ogre get slowly quartered?
What?
Could you be a little more descriptive, perhaps?
You know, like, no, never mind. Not good. Not
Bad
great.
dreams.
You could say that. I just came down here to see what you two were doing with the weird tent thing.
Yes, well, I am going to be spending the day devoted in service to this lovely city and to the service of my goddess, and I genuinely find that my patients prefer utmost privacy, and so I try to set up a tent wherever I may be of service. And you know, the blessings of my goddess must be, you know, personal to between myself as her hand as the healer and my patients. So I'm trying to make sure that this tent is all set up for the utmost comfort and privacy, but you are more than welcome to help me put the finishing touches if you'd like.
You know, I'm pretty good at the healing stuff.
Really, I see. Would you like to send for Sangpass to set up your own tent?
No, I don't have any tent supplies, but I would be down to help you out in here. You look like you could use some help in more ways than one.
Do you flirt with her?
Elzaniah is gonna like pocket that in a filing drawer in her brain of that was probably meant as an insult, but she's past the point of caring about such things at this point. She's just taking note of it. She doesn't reveal any of this in her facial expressions or anything though. But I'm losing the words at the moment that Elzaniah normally has, and my southern drawl's coming out, which is never a good sign. But she is going to graciously thank you for your offer to help her, but suggest that you look a bit tired and maybe you should find some breakfast. And really the holy task of healing and service of her goddess in these ways. Basically that it is absolutely nothing against you. She thinks you're delightful and enjoys your company, but she does prefer the solace and solitude of her tent between just herself and her patients so that she can focus on her craft. And suggests that maybe you should find some breakfast.
Nova is a very dense loaf of bread.
Okay.
And she is not gonna take that, and she's gonna raise her voice. And I would like to roll an intimidation of no, I'm gonna stay here.
Try a persuasion.
Okay.
A persuasion? Or
do I need to roll? Okay, you roll intimidation. Do I
want
need to roll anything against that,
Hold
Sebi?
on. I have to look this up because I don't know actually off the top of my head.
Yeah, I've not done that myself.
It should be.
So it's not that you have to roll against it, it's just that I give you the DC, so your current level, the intimidated check is opposed by the target's modified level. Okay,
Like a modified
what are
charisma?
your hit points right now, and then add like a... Oh wait, no. Oh, it's your level plus your wisdom. So what's your wisdom?
My wisdom? Like just standard level without the modifier?
I think with your modifier.
With the modifier, it's 17.
So you have to be an 18.
I got a 22.
Holy shit.
Wow, you fully back the hell down, Elzaniah. Why don't you describe what you do in this moment?
Can I check in with the lore master privately and pretend like this is Elzaniah privately praying in the solace of her mind to her goddess?
Mm-hmm. While all this is happening, Nyla, give me a perception check.
Damn it. Thank you. Can I just get to the website? Maybe. Well,
Sorry, what did you say?
I don't know if you heard. Well,
12? Yeah, it wasn't really a high DC. You notice, people are starting to leave, and you notice that Sandcast has walked off. She and Cornelia have gone to go do rain dancing, while Dory has stayed, or not Dory, sorry, Dorian has stayed behind. He is currently sitting on like a stack of crates. He's sitting on a stack of crates over by the tailor shop, and Cornelia, she sort of stops halfway through the alley and like is talking to Sandcast, or not the alley, but like the walkway. Sorry, give me 1 second. You see that Cornelia has like stopped Sandcast a little bit, and they're just sitting there talking, and eventually Cornelia does turn back around and joins not Dore, oh my god, joins Dorian, and Sandcast and the rest of the group continue walking off towards the glade, and that's really all that you notice.
Say that all took like 2 seconds for me. But,
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're gonna take that intimidation in stride, and we know when you know. Yeah. Okay. She's gonna back down a little. Just a moment.
Yeah. Nova,
well,
you see that that something just like dies a little bit inside of Elzaniah. It's almost like the fight just completely leaves her. She just realizes that there's no talking you out of this, and she fully is like, you know what? Fine, we roll with the punches. We're gonna go with this. This is okay.
Well, I suppose one extra companion can't hurt.
I'm sorry. I don't really want to go eat breakfast alone right now.
Of course, I understand. Come, I'll accompany you. The day's activities haven't quite started yet.
Sure. That'd be fine.
Urdak told you all earlier that breakfast is being held inside the town hall, so you all had passed it to walk out here. So there are like banquet-style tables full of food. And there are plenty of tables both inside and outside that you all can sit at.
Would you like to sit?
Oh, wait. I have a question. I'm gonna text it to you. You all can go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Where do you want to sit?
You know, I think it's going to turn into a lovely day. Why don't we sit outside?
That sounds good. I think I'm just gonna have like an orange or something.
Nova, give me a
You
perception
know.
check.
Me a perception?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
On the orange?
On something.
Perception is an 18.
You look over and see Durian is smiling, and he mouths scurvy at you.
Yeah. Scurvy.
Elzanaya is also going to give a knowing smile, saying, "No." Orange is quite high in. Do we know about vitamins on the continent?
Yes, you do.
Probably.
Okay, oranges are quite high in vitamin C. They can prevent many diseases such as scurvy, or so I've studied. An excellent choice, I think. Although perhaps acid on an empty stomach first thing in the morning might not be the best idea. I'd suggest maybe a little bread with that.
Not the vitamin that I'm really missing. But yeah, it's some bread.
Out of character, that's a thing from my childhood. I had a lot of tummy aches from drinking too much. It was actually a legitimate thing. They were like, yeah, make sure you've got something on your stomach so that you don't have acid right on there, because it will, like, disrupt
Why
things.
is
And
Elzanaya such a mom to Nova? I will kiss your boo-boos and make sure your tummy doesn't hurt.
Exactly. That's all she really wants for the world. That's what her goddess wants her to do.
Or really is being an ungrateful teenager just yelling at her.
It's okay. She's very patient at this point.
Nova's gonna go grab some sort of bread item. Or do they have baguettes at this table? What kind of bread am I looking at?
You see that there are lots of varieties of bread. Specifically, there's a lot of different sourdough, but you do notice that there are some ones that have fruit on the inside. So there are some that were baked with blueberries inside, some that have elderberries on the inside. There's even one that has a swirl of raspberry, and right beside it are different containers that hold different creams, cheeses, stuff like that.
Some fruity
Elzanaya is gonna frickin' stock up on bread. She loves that stuff, and she doesn't really gain the weight, so yeah.
I think that Nova's gonna go for that elderberry bread. You know, some elderberry bread and an orange.
Excellent choice. Yeah. Elsa and I was just gonna like grab a plate or a napkin or something. Just get a whole freaking stack of bread.
They have like
Um,
little wooden trays. Like
Excellent.
almost
She's gonna
almost
fill it with
ornate
bread.
looking. They sort of
Oh,
look
God.
like if you cut a tree branch in half. So like you know how branches are very spindly? It's almost like if you cut one perfectly in half so it has those little ridges in it, so it's like a curved, like it still lays flat, but the shape itself is curved. And it's been
Beautiful.
sealed. And it's very old,
Beautiful.
like wood.
I love that. Yeah. I'm stacking up. I'm stocking up for like the day. I'm planning to just kind of stay in the tent. So, and I love me some bread, so we're just gonna pile it on there.
You like bread?
You
Bread.
like jazz?
You like jazz?
smooth bread?
One of the goddess's greatest blessings. She knows that her particular goddess is not necessarily directly related to grain or bread, but she counts all blessings as coming from the goddess, so
You
it
like
makes no difference.
pray to the wheat goddess or what? Nova's not very.
Blessings of each day.
Not,
I thank my goddess.
Nova's not very good at religion.
That's fine.
So how'd you
Totally.
get into that goddess
Hmm.
stuff?
To my faith, you mean? Yes. Well, as a child, I tragically lost my family to a most dreadful disease, but a healer, a disciple of my goddess, saved me from the very same illness and helped me in my recovery. And as I grew stronger, I lived in this temple with other disciples and other healers, and I learned their ways, and I read the scriptures of my goddess, and I became close to her. She was the one who first guided me to this healer. And ever since, I have been devoted to the art and craft of healing and saving others, and devoted to the way of my goddess. She is the reason I live. Though I understand that such paths are not for all, but it is a path that I treasure for myself.
Nova is just stuffing the bread in her mouth. Just eating it all.
Oh yeah, Elsa and I said all of that around a massive crystal nut that she's just devouring.
Yeah, it's concerning
I'm
the amount
adding
of
the
bread
bread
that you
in.
guys have.
It's fine. I can't remember. Sevi, I think I put this in her character information that she likes bread.
Yes, you
This
did.
is exactly what I would do. Okay, I thought I did. This is exactly what I would do if there was a buffet and there was just a shit ton of bread there with like tarts, and because I would get them all. I would fill up that tray. So that's just like a little me thing.
Yeah, you all notice that like
Oh,
a
she's
lot of
also
people
grabbed
are.
fruit. If there's like cantaloupe there, it's in there.
Oh yeah, every fruit that you can think of, every bread that you can think of is there. Like the amount of people who have gone over and looked at you guys just filled with bread, it's concerning. Like you guys have like 2 of every slice.
It's like we have enough bread to kill Henry and his whole lineage.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I will. It's a good thing that Henry is, enjoying himself elsewhere. Otherwise,
Is he rain
I would have.
dancing by himself?
Yeah, he is.
He's doing what?
He's rain
He's
dancing
rain
by himself.
dancing.
He's rain dancing by himself. He's perfectly happy doing this. I'm gonna let you know right now. He is very easily entertained. So he's having a grand old time, and he does not care that I'm not there.
Yeah, he hasn't even noticed that you're not there. He's just been following around Sandcast, who's just sitting there feeding him. Like, she picked up little elderberries and little stuff, and so she's just been slowly feeding him.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love that
Yeah.
the elderberries and the oranges are now just canon.
Why wouldn't it be? So scurvy.
You gotta fight off scurvy. You know, actually, that is
The deadliest
the path
disease.
of my goddess is to destroy scurvy.
Yeah, that's
That's
her
all it
whole.
is.
Yeah, we've learned it now. We
We've
need a-
learned it.
My family died of scurvy.
Yeah. The silent killer, scurvy.
Scurvy! God.
That's all it is.
Oh,
Just
God.
scurvy.
I feel like okay. We're about to have an intimate moment.
Okay.
Nova's gonna reach her hand out and place it on top of Elvenaya and look into her
Where?
eyes. Her hand. Hand on
Okay.
hand.
Hand on
I'm not
hand. Okay.
I'm not touching titties.
No, I was wondering, like, were you trying to reach the top of her head? Because she's really tall.
Oh, no. Hand on hand.
Okay.
Bread in other hand. Looking at her and just going, thanks for telling me that. My mom died.
I'm so sorry. I had to cough. Please continue.
My mom died a long time ago, too. She
I'm
just
very
pauses. And then just, like, looks at her plate full of bread.
There's a moment, I think, I can't speak for Nova, obviously, but there's definitely a mental acknowledgement of, yeah, we eat our feelings. It's fine. Elzanaya is going to give Nova the kindest and gentlest and most understanding of looks. And say something to the effect of, shit, I just had a really good thing I was gonna say.
So now he's like, shit, I was gonna say something real good.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Thank you for telling me. Such a loss is always great and will be felt for all of time, but at least we have good friends and good bread. And for me, I have the goddess to guide my path. And I'm glad that she guided me to you.
Oh,
And scene.
kiss now.
She means this in a very platonic way. I just
You
want you
all
to
have
know that,
won
like,
D&D.
you can go there if you want. She will not, like, say no.
Only one D&D.
The power of friendship was the end to D&D all along.
The power
Yeah.
of friendship.
This is the type of thing that I would personally say to a friend. So, like, that's... I wouldn't make the comment about good bread necessarily, but
We know you would.
I probably would. I've probably said something to Sevi to that effect at some point. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nova's just gonna tap her fingers on the table and look at Elsanaya and go, hey. Would you believe me if I told you that I kind of had something like your goddess, but for me?
Huh?
I believe I would.
What are we doing? What?
Well, it's just Alfie, you know.
Huh?
Alfie?
I'm sorry. You all of a sudden start trusting the crazy bitch who cannot stop talking about her fucking goddess. And you're like, this is a good person to say that my cat has something weird about it. This is the person that we trust.
It's weird.
Okay.
Well, not like weird. He's just like, you know, a bit different than a regular cat, you know?
He does seem to have quite a personality about him.
Oh, yeah. You could say it's almost...
Don't.
very, very.
Nova, make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Yep.
Saving Constitution. Jesus. Oh, I just crit failed.
You cannot speak for the next 5 minutes. There is something completely blocking you from speaking. And you see Alfie has he was walking beside you at the moment. He jumps up onto the chair and he slowly puts his paws into your lap and clutches so deep with his nails that it pokes through your pants. And he definitely draws blood. Not enough for you to take damage or anything like that, but he absolutely is making it known you need to stop talking. And he
Can I tell
slowly
anything about this interaction, or can I perceive that she can't speak?
give me a perception check. It's lightning outside my house.
That is a 21.
Damn.
You notice because did you add?
Yeah, it's I've got a modifier. Without the modifier, it's a 17.
Did
With
you
the
add
modifier, it's 21.
Did you add the other thing though?
Oh, I forgot. Never mind. This is a 22. Thank you for that.
So you notice having the context clues that she's given you, you can tell that Alfie is doing something to her. You don't know exactly what it is, and you can't really tell that she can't talk in this moment because it releases itself. It was going to be for the next 5 minutes, but after he dug his claws in, it released immediately. But you could tell that Alfie moved in a way that is not natural for cats in general. Even if it was a cat that was magic or an apparition of some sort, or if it was, like how wizards can conjure things, even if it was something like that, this is not like that. This is distinctly unnatural. And Nova, it's released on you. You can now speak again.
Sorry. We should probably go find that tiefling, right?
Of course, I understand. If you ever feel like you wish to share anything, I am always ready with a listening ear, and I kind of playfully gesture at my pointy ears because I know that sometimes people might make comments about them, but I give a very kind and understanding look, and I glance at the cat, and then I'm good to keep moving, and I shove another thing of bread in my mouth.
Where's Nyla at?
Where is Nyla?
Nyla, give me a performance check.
Oh shit.
Because you've just been outside this whole time.
Yeah. Y'all just left her.
Well, you could have came in with us.
21.
Forgotten some bread.
Roll a flat d20 and tell me what you get.
That is a 15.
You earn, while you're out there, 2 pieces of gold, 10 pieces of silver, and 2 copper pieces. You have been out there performing even better than the first night you were here, and you haven't even had a touch of alcohol, so who knows what you're going to play like whenever you're hammered tonight. But you have played very, very well. At first you were just strumming on your instrument at the time because you were bored, because you didn't really feel like eating, and Mr. Sparkles is right there, and he's also been going out and getting stuff. He had picked up, well, he didn't pick it up, but he knocked over one of the plates and he grabbed a bunch of stuff and then slowly scooted it out towards you guys. So he's just been snacking on it, and you're welcome to it if you wanted. But while you were waiting for your companions to come back out and join you eventually, you were just sitting there strumming on it, and you started noticing more people starting to come in, saddle up and sort of listen to what you were playing. And then you started really playing. And at first it was just like a normal sort of melodious tune, but eventually you got really into it and you started jamming out, and you actually cultivated a crowd. And the harpers had noticed, and some of them who had stayed behind to watch over this little event that you guys were doing, they also pulled out their instruments and started playing along with you.
I have no idea where to go from that.
Elzaniah, give me a perception check. Or insight. Either or, you don't have to tell me which. And remember, you add 1 to that no matter your modifier. Well, in addition to your modifier, I mean.
That would be a 9.
A 9? You feel dread. Yes. You feel dread overcome you. Something in the pit of your stomach is not sitting right, and it's not the egregious amounts of bread that you've just consumed. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, the music did stop. I didn't even realize that. Sorry, give me 1 second, gang.
My ADHD is going crazy because there's no background noise.
Yeah, I noticed that it got very quiet a little bit ago, but actually,
would it be possible for me to summon Henry?
Let me get there in a second. I also need everyone to give me perception checks.
Do you know Discord over?
I'm looking for a
19 from me.
19.
17 for me.
17.
And 13.
A 13? Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a better song that I can play. This might actually get me a copyright strike, but who cares? It's a good fucking song. Sorry, guys. Just give me 2 more seconds, I promise. Can we all hear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Elzaniah, you first feel it, this overwhelming sense of dread that builds from the pit of your stomach, and it's not from the bread that you just ate. In fact, that was very good, and it still is very good, and you might even want another piece, but something in you is screaming that Henry is in danger, that something is wrong, and you don't know what, but you feel Henry in this moment. Even with a not so great check in the beginning, your second check lets you know that it is Henry, and your connection to him, it almost is telepathic in this moment, where you feel this overwhelming sensation of pure horror, and your stomach starts to churn and bile grows in the back of your throat. Nova, you look around the plaza as you all have gone outside now from the town hall, because you know that Nyla is outside. Nyla, your finger strums one of the chords of your... Did you say that you have a lute?
Yeah.
Yeah, your finger strums one of the strings of your lute, and you notice that blood trickles from your finger, and the music stops. There is this palpable fear in the air. The wind has now grown a fog is starting to roll in, and the sun has disappeared behind the clouds. Rain slowly starts to fall on top of your heads. Even inside the tent, it is falling significantly harder than you would have initially thought, as it is or was a very beautiful looking day. Nova, you look around, and the fear that enveloped you that night is back. And as you're looking around, even Alfie is starting to look concerned. And you see one of the Harpers comes running from the glade. He has blood dripping down his side. He's holding it with his hands. You see blood is trailing behind him. You don't notice it, but part of his coat seems uneven. And as he's running, he nearly trips and falls into Dorian, who reaches over and grasps him by the shoulders, and his jacket falls. And you see where his left hand is holding his side, his right hand is completely gone. From the elbow down, his arm is gone, as if it had been ripped from his body, and only from the elbow up remains. You don't see anyone running behind him. His skin is pale, sickly pale. His eyes are sunken in, and as he looks around, panting, short of breath, someone needs to go get Erdak right now. Please, you have to believe me. You have to go get Erdak. They've killed her. She's dead. They're all dead. He is screaming at this point from the agony of his arm and his injuries. He collapses into Dorian, who slowly lays him down and looks over at you, Elzaniah, the self-proclaimed healer of this night, and beckons for you to come over. You hear the crowd start to gasp and look at one another as it parts for Erdak, who comes barreling from the town hall. He rushes over to the Harper and gets on his knees in front of him and goes, "Who's dead? What are you talking about? What happened?" And the Harper is clutching his side as Dorian takes off his own jacket and covers it against what remains of his arm. He says, I don't know what happened, but bodies just came from the ground. They started running at us. They were just dancing. It was fine. It was simple. They were dancing. It hadn't even started to rain yet, and this beast came from the sky. It was a man. He had and he starts to get even more frantic as he's talking. He lets go of his side. His hand is still covered in blood, and he grabs onto Erdak, and he leans forward with the last remaining bit of his energy, and he looks into his eyes and says, "Sandcast is dead. They stole her key. I don't know where they've gone. You have to go do something. You have to go find her body. They've stolen it. I don't know what they've done with it." And Nova, you feel Alfie sink into the bottom of the bag. And a resigned sigh falls from him as you get a sensation in the back of your mind that you don't know what did this, but you feel like Alfie might have an idea.
Alfie?
Alfie doesn't talk to you.
Alfie!
Alfie still does not talk to you.
God damn it. God damn it. Nova's gonna look at Elzaniah, who she's healing the guy, yes?
I'm bent over him, but can I do a check to see if there's anything more I can do for him? Or if he's gonna be gone in like a moment?
I'm not gonna let you do a check. He's going to die.
Okay. Because Okay. I want to at least give him peace to send him off, but I want to run towards wherever Henry is, as soon as that's taken care of.
Okay, so you want to, like, give him something, like, You probably have like an herb on you, at least one that you would know of, that would calm the body enough to let him like fall into a slumber. That way he could pass in his sleep, if that's something you would like to do.
Yeah, I've got one of those books that like keeps like dried herbs, kind of like that in it. I'm gonna pull that out and I'm gonna say that, yeah, I give that to him, and I'm gonna like hold my hands kind of like one hand gently on his face, kind of like over his eyes to kind of relax him, and one other hand on, like, the book is laid on his chest and I've got my hand on it and I'm like whispering something, like just a general blessing and maybe comforting words in his ear, to send him on his way.
Elzaniah, as you do that, you see that his chest is rapidly rising and falling with his breath, which is very sputtered in this moment. He can't seem to take in enough oxygen, and he gladly opens his he does whatever you need him to do to accept this herb, and he lays flat against the ground, and Urdak is right next to you. He is also now covered in blood from the Harper. Dorian gets up and, without saying anything, takes off for the glade. And Cornelia is right at his heels.
Do I need to make any kind of roll?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
That is a 13.
I'll let you know later what you just did.
Okay.
And what you got from it. But you feel you lay your hand on his chest as he accepts the herb, and you feel slowly as his heart starts to stop beating. It slows down, and eventually he goes completely still underneath your hands.
Okay. I'm gonna say one final blessing and then give, like, kind of just an I'm sorry look to Nova, and then I am booking it towards Henry.
Okay. What does everyone else do?
I think Nova's gonna see that I'm sorry look and take it differently than it's supposed to be, and Nova's gonna run after Elzaniah.
Alright, and Nyla, what are you doing?
Nyla is following after them, but before she does, she puts Mr. Sparkles in a barrel to keep him safe.
Yeah,
and he's doing too dumb to get out of it.
He would have argued with you, but even he is feeling the pain in the air, and he gladly accepts being put inside the barrel for once. He doesn't even bother whining as you cover it with a lid, that way no one can get into it. And you leave him there. As you all book it towards the glade. The glade is this area of dense forest. There are some rocks that lead to it from the city, where buildings are slowly fade away from view, and you're taken into a scene of fog. There are trees growing all around you. There are tall grasses, as they don't let people cut anything from here. It's meant to be very in tune with nature. And as you all are going, Elzaniah, since you ran off second, you see Dorian in the distance with Cornelia. She's holding onto his hand and they are running. And you slowly see, after about 5 minutes or so of running, you slowly see him stop. And as you approach next to him, the rest of you slowly catch up. You see that it is littered with bodies. There are people, citizens that you saw yesterday, that were having a joyous time, were forgetting their woes, were finally letting go of the pain that they had endured. You see that their faces are warped in terror. Parts of their bodies are missing. You see that there are bite marks in some of them, even as the fog starts to peel back. And on the ground, you see a black and white tabaxi leg on the ground. And you don't need to do an insight check to know who that belonged to. As you stand there, the scent of rot fills your nose. You feel the pain start to surge through all of you as you see some of the Harpers that you had just met the night before are also a part of the bodies. It was a slaughter. They were completely caught unaware. It almost looks like an ambush. And people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you would expect to see some people, like the way that their bodies are laid out, you'd expect to see them having run away, where it looks like their backs were turned to everyone else. Everyone stayed close together. In fact, most people are piled on top of one another as if they tried to protect one another from this. And Elzaniah, give me a perception check.
I gotta check my stats again. $19.
At your feet, you feel something rustle in the wind, and you look down and see a long white braid. And at the very end, it is cuffed in gold.
And where is Henry? Because I will tend to the dead in a moment, but I need my goose.
You look around and you see cowering behind one of the trees is a little ball of white. And hearing people approach, you see Henry sort of turn around from the tree, and he looks behind it, and once he sees you, he immediately is squawking, running over, and throwing himself into your legs.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yep, I'm gonna hold on to Henry for a bit and talk to him quietly and give him some pats and be very grateful that he's okay. And I'm just gonna pick him up and hold on to him while surveying the carnage.
As you pick him up, he gives a noise of pain, and you move one of your hands and see that it is also covered in blood. Henry did sustain some injuries, but all in all, he's okay.
Okay, can I do, like, oh god, what's it called? I've never been a cleric before. What's the...
Don't you have a
Cure
cantrip?
wounds.
Yeah.
Or I might have a cantrip for... No, I don't have a cantrip for...
Lay on of hands?
Laying on of hands is what I was looking for, yeah, but I don't...
I was thinking of Spare the Dying,
It
but
should
yeah,
be.
you can go ahead and do your Cure Wounds.
Oh yeah, it might be Spare... I think it might be Spare the Dying, I don't remember.
But do you have it, or does someone else have it? Because I think some class has Spare the Dying cantrip.
I do have Spare the Dying,
But you just want to do Cure Wounds.
Oh, that's specifically for a creature that has 0 hit points left.
Okay.
The creature then becomes stable. So this would be more Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Let me see. Okay,
I've got it on mine as... I've got 1d8 plus 5.
Yes, because that's your spellcasting modifier, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so you can just do 1d8 plus 5.
It's not the correct die. God, I bet it's dark in here, so I can't find. Okay, there it is. That would be a 6 total.
Oh yeah, he's healed up to full. He's fine now.
Excellent. Glad my goose is okay.
Glad something good
And
came
I'm
of
gonna
this.
Yeah, I'll be just a second. I'll be right back.
So, how we feeling, gang? We still like D&D?
I knew it. I don't know, you'll just have to speak. You know, I already knew it in my. Oh.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Well,
I'll
you
save it until
gotta
after we're done with
murder
the
some
session.
people. What'd I do?
Well, you all didn't do anything. I was just saying I'm not gonna say anything until we're done with the session.
Oh, okay.
Beck.
Hello.
Hello.
What is everyone else doing in this moment?
This is a good question.
Oh,
That's right.
Nyla, give me a perception check
Oh,
with advantage. With advantage, she can roll again.
no. 21.
21. You know who did this. There is a familiar twinge on the bodies that you are seeing, the ones that are closest to you. You can almost see remnants of magic, and you know that magic is specific to the person. Even though that you're a bard, you know that your magic feels a certain way, that when other people cast spells it feels one way. You know what this magic is, and you know exactly who did this. It is the person you came all this way for. And you feel defeat run through you. That you were this close. And there was nothing you could have done. But he was right here.
Isla is in just as much shock as I am, so she's gonna be silent for a good minute.
Nova is going to crouch down and look at Alfie in her satchel, and she's gonna be like, "Buddy, please, who did this? I know you know. Look at the way you're acting."
Alfie's not saying shit. Give me a perception check. Actually, give me an insight check.
Insight. That is a 14.
You know he's not saying anything because there's a certain someone in your vicinity.
Oh.
Whether you can discern that certain someone is left for you to figure out, dear Emma.
Dear Emma? Nova is going to look towards Nyla. And she's going to start walking towards Nyla and pull out her dagger, pointing it towards Nyla.
Rose and I is also going to walk that direction.
Why do you look like you know who did this, Nyla? Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Cornelia sees you pull your dagger and immediately rushes for you and tries to grab your wrist. Now, I don't think that we need to be at each other's throats in this moment. I know that we're all very, frazzled at the moment, but, I don't think that we should go at each other like this. I think we need to talk. Nyla, do you know something? Do you know anything?
Give me a
That was
moment.
nice.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this.
You're good.
Is Henry okay?
Come again?
Is Henry alright?
Yes.
Nyla.
Fortunately, the poor dear had quite a fright, but someone hurt my goose. I'd like to know who. If you have any
My brother.
idea, please share.
And I'd like to know why my cat stopped talking.
Talk?
Ignore that. He's always nagging me. Tell me who did this. Kill the bodies.
His name is Lennox.
And
He is my
Elsanai is
brother.
giving you like a very cold, pointed look.
He is my brother.
Oh shit.
Shit, bro.
That was Emma out of character.
Yeah, Elsanai also did not say that. Okay, I'm trying to take notes as we go, but also, like, react.
I know.
Don't worry, I'm posting this, so you can take notes later.
I'll take notes later. Okay.
Nova's gonna put her blade down and back into its sheath.
Cornelia immediately lets go of your wrist and steps back, and she steps back. So, like, the way that you all are positioned is that Nyla is on one side, so to the left of Cornelia, and you, Nova, and Elzaniah are to the right. And so she steps back directly in the middle of you guys. So, like, Nova, she's stepping back towards your left, and she runs directly into Dorian, who, sort of is glaring down at you, Nyla.
Elsanaya has not moved.
Well, shit.
What does your pet have to do with my brother?
Nova's gonna look down at Alfie. Is he gonna fucking talk to her again?
Alfie's not saying anything.
Don't worry about it. Just... He stopped talking for some reason. I don't know why. But obviously, your brother has something to do with it.
Well, that much is obvious.
Dude.
Real quick, this is out of character, but how old is Nyla, roughly?
He got me for like 26.
Okay, cool. I was just checking. Elsanaya is gonna turn like slightly mean here, because she's quite upset at the scene. And I wanted to let her pull the age card, so she's gonna be slightly demeaning here. She's gonna look very directly at you, in a way that is like her gentleness at this point is gone because she is pissed. And she just wants answers. Child, you know something. Explain.
That'd be help.
You see Dorian looks down at Nyla. Did you say Sevi help?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got it, Phoebe. You see Dorian looks down at Nyla and he just shakes his head before stepping in, and he doesn't go in front of you, but he does turn Cornelia, so he like moves her a little bit out of the way. His hand is like wrapped around her waist, and he goes, "Well, since you all have stand-up families, I'm presuming, her brother is a devil. Her brother came here, and as you can tell by all these bodies, he had reanimated something to come and kill everyone. Obviously, he stole something from Sandcast, a key we heard. I think that's more important right now than whatever you have going on with your brother. We all know that you came here now to go find him. So I propose that we stop threatening one another and we realize that we have to work with one another. So you just tell us everything that you need to. That way we can all move on and be buddy-buddy again. And once we figure out who killed this beloved Tabaxi that you all seem to like so damn much. Sorry. She's dead now, isn't she? Well, anyways, despite the fact that she's dead, let's not get emotional, shall we? And let's just focus on the facts. The facts are, your brother is a devil who came here and stole something. Your goose was injured, and you're mad about it, and your cat won't talk to you anymore, which is something entirely different on its own. I'll tell you right now, darling, he's not mad at you because of her. He's mad at you because of me. So, there you have it. I'll just let you all know right now, I'm more than likely going to be the problem whenever you all can't communicate with something. So, let's not turn on each other. You can turn on me if you'd like, I don't really care about you people. But we need one another, so let's work with one another, let's talk. And he but he stands there and explains what Nyla just can't put into words, is that her family, suffered a tragedy, and in turn, her brother had betrayed all of them. And as he's explaining that, Elzanaya, you can feel it in you. Despite this rage that's coursing through you, you can still feel, because of your role earlier today, you can still feel that pain of betrayal, the sting that has still left its mark. You still feel it radiating through Nyla, and explains how her brother committed the greatest sin, of killing someone deeply important to Nyla. And he has now committed himself to evil, the likes of which you all know as the Great Calamity. And you all, in this moment, as Dorian is explaining this, that you can all feel, Nova, you in the moment think of the vision that you had the day prior, where you saw this radiant being of blood essentially rain from the sky, and the veils that came down, and you feel you feel the gravity in this moment of how everything is all connected in this moment. The visions that you've been having, when Alfie stops talking, you realize that it's all connected to the Great Calamity. Now, you don't know why, but you know that something is working in the shadows in this moment, and Dorian helps explain, putting together the pieces that you all couldn't. You were right there, and you had all the information, but there were just missing links that you couldn't really see. And you all piece together in this moment that Nyla's brother is helping to do something that caused the Great Calamity. And there's something very important about the key that he took. Now, you all don't remember ever seeing anything on Sandcast that could have indicated a key, but you did see that she was wearing a necklace every single day.
During the story, Elzanaya's gaze is going to soften when looking at Nyla, almost in understanding, and maybe mild apology, but she's not gonna say anything.
I believe Nova is also going to stay quiet and just sort of stare off into the distance.
You see that Cornelia starts toying with one of her rings as she now steps aside, and she walks over towards the bodies and is counting them repeatedly over and over and over again, is counting all the limbs that she sees. And Dorian slowly walks over and puts his hands on her shoulders, and she just breaks in this moment. She is hunched over, guttural sobs escaping her, to the point that she can't even breathe. She is crying her heart out. And Dorian slowly turns her and presses her head into his chest and lets her cry into the what remained of his outfit from having left his jacket with the Harper. And she can't bring herself to say anything other than repeating the number and "I'm sorry."
Elsanaya is going to see that and kind of shake herself, and she's going to kind of regain some semblance of her prior graceful composure, and she's going to walk slowly over to where they are and just press like a gentle hand to Cornelia's shoulder without saying a word, and then is going to walk around and spend the next chunk of time just going to each body. And I'm going to assume that she heard the number, and so she knows how many. And she's going to give a similar blessing that she gave to the Harper to each person.
Nyla, give me a perception check. Nova, give me an insight check.
$16.
Alfie knows Dorian.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. You find you all see that Nyla starts to like walk off as you all are as Cornelia was counting the bodies, and Elzaniah, as you were going around and praying for everyone, you see that Nyla starts to walk off, still in your all's range. It's not like she's trying to run away anywhere. And you see clutched in one of the hands of the victims is a trinket, and you recognize it from your brother's horns. It is the symbol of your family, like a crest of some sort. Nova, you also notice that Dorian, in between comforting Cornelia, he is glancing back over at your satchel where Alfie is. He only does it once, but he does notice that you are looking at him, and then immediately turns around and just breathes a deep sigh and holds onto Cornelia tighter. And Nova, you finally hear in your head, "He was there. I saw him long before I met you, and you can't trust him." And that's it.
This is for Dorian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nova stares at Dorian once more, not really. She fully trusts in Alfie's word that she shouldn't trust him, and sort of starts to back away from him and towards Nyla.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it.
And that, my friends, is where we're gonna end this session. Yippee!
I'm sending you a question real quick.
Mhm.